And is it true that the USA and China tied for second place? I mean, Europe just completely ran away with the entire event. Yeah, by the looks of things, USA and China tied for second. 134.5. Europe almost a clear 30 VPs, or not VPs, 30 BAM points, match points, I guess you could say, in the lead. But today marks the start of the individual event. If you're not familiar with an individual, the way it works, as we can kind of see on screen here, this looks like an exciting table to follow, so I pulled it up. You get ripped out of your normal partnerships. And so you just have to play with someone that you're unfamiliar with or that you don't have a fully functioning convention card with. And so you essentially get assigned a card to play that is going to be very simple. Like, I mean, I don't know exactly what types of cards could be used, but something like standard American yellow card would be a popular choice for individual events. I think I've been told that Europe, USA, and China all have their own individual, their own like specific individual card that they play as a team. So there might be some small differences, like the Americans might not play Gazilli, for example, and the Europeans will. The Chinese team might all play Precision, I'm not sure. But it's going to be a very, very watered down version of the card with no fancy agreements. And it's mostly going to rely on good judgment, decent communication skills, and then, of course, just strong card playability. Just to clarify, you're not really allowed to add extra conventions to your card. Like, if your card says that you're playing one-way new minor forcing, that's just what you're playing. You're not allowed to, like, agree to then play two-way new minor forcing, because that would be an unfair advantage over the rest of the field. Like, otherwise the individual event can't really be scored in a fair basis. You're supposed to all like have the same tools available to you. And in theory, this does select, you know, the player who, as Craig mentions, like might make the best practical choices in a sense, and just does the best with what they've been given. But we do have the first board on the table. So a couple passes go around to Hurd, playing with Pacell for the US team. Hurd opens a club with the balanced 18 count. Brogland passes. 12 over there. So club heart. Hurd jumps to 2-0. Pretty common way to handle the 4-card spade suit here is to jump to 2-0 trump, and so be it if partner passes, but they'll always have a way to check back. 3 diamonds by North, and South shows the spade suit, and now 3-0.
Yeah, and I think besides that the Chuno shows the hand type, one spade probably for Americans, even if not explicitly agreed, at least by implication, would show an unbalanced hand. Like, I think Hurd can't have this hand and bid anything other than Chuno.
Yeah, it is pretty popular to play that rebidding major shows the unbalanced hand, so essentially
Even
always shows a singleton is basically the idea.
Yeah, like I like bidding a spade over a heart pretty freely, even with a balanced hand, but the world plays the other way around, at least in North America.
And Brogland does not cost his side a trick at trick 1. He ends up leading the Jack of Diamonds. I think some of the field might be drawn towards a spade lead from the Queen Jack fourth, but with South having bid a spade, Brogland shies away from it.
Yeah, and that 8 of diamonds does make this a lot safer, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how is Declare doing? You know, we can see he has 2 spades, 1 heart, 3 diamonds, and 1 club. You know, it's not a great start for him.
That's 7.
Yeah, exactly.
So Declare can technically pick off an extra trick in the club suit, but probably would not by dropping the king third offside. I think there's some chance that the spade suit itself ends up providing an extra trick, either because West might get end played into leading it, or just because West might not be end played and lead it anyway at some point in time. But Declare's first plan is going to be to go after the heart suit. Very natural to run the 9 of hearts on the first round, picking off honor third on side specifically. He might be able to set up the entirety of the hearts.
Yeah, like ace, queen, or jack third on side. You're doing really well, and you don't really have a lot of other places to develop tricks.
Yeah, so heart goes around to the jack, and Klukowski's in. Um, He does have a lot of info about what Declare's hand looks like. Given that Declare opened a club, this isn't one of these, like, we're playing transfers over a club, so a club could have longer diamonds. I think this is one of these, we open a club with longer clubs than diamonds situations.
Well, I'm going to say, I think East knows South's exact shape, which I think is where you're going.
Yeah, so because South probably has 4 clubs for this sequence, and given that East clubs are so bad, they're topped out by the 8, I think it's very likely that Brogolin has strong clubs. Like, if South's clubs were, say, Queen Jack 10 9, or King Queen Jack 10 or something, like 4 of them to all of the spot cards and honors, South probably would play on clubs and not hearts to set up some extra tricks.
Yeah. No, but I meant even kind of going back. So we know South has 4 spades. We know South doesn't have 3 hearts because he would have been hearts first
Right.
over the check back. So South has to be 4-2-3-4.
I mean, they could be 4-2-2-5, right? Like, that's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right, and definitely a thing worth considering is trying to work out Declare's shapes for the hand, and I'm sure Klukowski did that. But I think, like, I was trying to go a step further. After you know that South actually does have long clubs for the spitting, the fact that he's not playing on them has this extra implication that your partner actually does have pretty good clubs over there.
I think that's probably true, although it might be natural to sort of play heart from your hand, get to dummy eventually, play club from dummy, whatever partner has. I don't think it would be natural to start clubs from the south hand unless they were like King Queen Jack 10 fifth or something.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's I think the main point.
I think, yeah, sure. I think there's an implication a partner has something in clubs when declarer is kind of, trying to bounce back and forth between north and south. Anyway, I mean, I think a spade from east also would have been kind of natural.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, looking at the 10 doubleton and dummy, the spade count around the table. So very much possible that your partner needs a spade led through at some point.
Yeah, and we have a 3 count. Dummy has 7. Declare rebid 2 no trump. Partner's got 11 or 12. Whereas high cards, they're not in diamond, they're not in hearts. Whatever. And he has something in hearts, obviously. Probably the ace from Declare's line of play. But, there's a lot of black suit cards missing, and partner probably has some of them in spades.
Yeah, you would be right about that. So, diamond does go up to the ace. And Brogolin actually giving a suit preference signal on this trick. The 8 of diamonds asking for clubs, so kind of maybe confirming the suspicion that we had brought up earlier. Declare is in dummy for the last time, or at least pretty likely to be in dummy for the last time, so it makes a lot of sense to cash the Heart King now. He is giving it quite a bit of thought, though.
I know it would be a really big play not to catch that heart, right? It would be, a bet that the hearts are 4-2, which we can see they are, but sometimes they aren't.
I mean, it's true. West could have started with ace queen third of hearts, but
Yeah, the
West
play would
can't
be
have
well.
started with ace empty third. So
No, that's true. But
I think it is pretty likely that the hearts are 4-2, but not guaranteed.
yeah, the other thing is if you're not cashing the king of hearts, isn't it kind of a bet that you can get the right opponent in at the right time and play? Like you might just lose that trick forever.
Oh, absolutely. I think it is somewhat likely that that trick would come back, but still,
Love Rob,
he does
red
cash
heart
it.
emoji.
Love Rob, red heart emoji.
So
Babs,
West
thanks so
now
much for
is
the
under
10
a
months
little bit of pressure on
Prime.
this trick.
Love this. Love having you around. Appreciate the support. Welcome back to the lounge. Yeah, Broglin
Right,
pitching
he
a
can't-
club.
He's going to pitch a diamond, so he has to pitch a black suit, a black card, but either one is going to cost his side a trick, at least double dummy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Declare does still have to read what's going on. The eight of diamonds certainly looked like West wanted clubs back. Although, of course, at this level of play, any defender could be false carding on any hand. But couple that with the jack of clubs discard, I mean,
So Declare now can't really do worse than down one. You take a club finesse, and he'll kind of luck into a second club trick after West pitch the jack.
right. But can Declare do even better if he exits a diamond pitching a spade from the south hand?
I think double dummy, yes, that's pretty deep, I think, but
No,
think,
I
yeah.
guess I guess it's actually not possible. It would be the same down one. West would win, get out the spade queen. Declare could go ace of spades, king of spades. West would cash two spades and lead away from the club king.
wait, sorry. So we play what?
Like diamond pitch a
play
spade. West just
Diamond pitching a spade. West plays queen of spades.
yeah.
Well, how about we play a diamond pitching a club?
Sure. I mean, like same thing, I
Krukowski pitched a
guess.
spade, though now the 7-6 spades are looking pretty big.
Yeah, but that's okay because then we don't end play West in spades. Like if we get an extra spade trick, we'll take three spades and one club from here.
Oh, yeah, right. The same down one. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is looking like it'll probably end up being a push. I mean, I think Hurd is going to be pretty confident that he has a count on the shape of the hand with this club discard from West. I mean, Brogland would almost certainly have ditched a spade from a 3-card suit, and Klukowski would not have pitched a spade from 4 earlier. So I think he's pretty confident that West shape is exactly this, and therefore a diamond exit will always get him out for down one. But he plays a club to the king.
Yeah, but the jack pitch could have been Jack 10, 8 something, where the diamond lead was more attractive.
It could have been, yeah. Well, he better pitch a spade now. He does. The jack of spades comes back. So Declare can win. Cash the spade ace, and then he's at the crossroads.
Yeah, and if he trusts East, he'll know that spades were 4-3, and then he can catch the club because Brooklyn would have to have started with 4 spades.
Right. I mean, like, this only works because the 10 of clubs falls singleton. Otherwise, he
Right.
would have to go king of spades, spade.
Right, but if the 10 of clubs wasn't dropping, king of spades, spade would still be the same result.
Yeah,
Because West is
as
only
long as the
taking-
spades are 4-3 this way.
Yeah, so the club, I think, is his only possibility for an extra trick if he believes East.
I feel like Hurd has gotten the wrong picture of the hand because it seemed pretty clear to me of West's shape originally. Let me think. So what was his theory by playing a club to the queen? If it wins, are we getting an extra trick somehow?
I mean, I think part of his theory might have just been West had a lot of high cards and maybe he doesn't have the king of clubs. Like, there's no reason to decline that finesse based on what he knew.
I'm still kind of struggling to see how he makes the contract if the club hook wins. And if we're not making it, then just exiting a diamond was, I think, a lock for down one.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
But- Anyway, he can still recover, thanks to the king jack 10 third of clubs.
So a club to the queen, though, would win if West was under pressure and pitched a club from jack 10 fourth. And now we play 3 rounds of clubs, and the 4th round of clubs is the winner.
Well, we've already pitched a club from the south hand. We were down
that's
to
true.
ace queen
Right.
9 in the club
right.
suit. So
Yeah, no, you're right. Maybe there was, yeah.
I'm sure he had an idea.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like struggling to figure out exactly what that idea is. He cashes the king of spades and
Now, if he plays a spade, he's going to lose the board.
yeah. Let me take a look. He does cash the ace of clubs. Well done by Hurd. The 10
Yeah.
falls, and he does escape for down one. Similar opening lead at the other table. Sanborn actually led a 4th best diamond, not a high one. 9 of hearts ran to the jack, another diamond to return, a heart up to the ace, a 3rd round of diamonds, also signaling for clubs. Declare cash the heart king, pitching a club, as West threw a club as well in the other room, and then declare played a club to the 9. Okay. Precario was correct that the king of clubs was offside, so that lost to the jack. 10 of diamonds cashed. But Sanborn actually just got out the club king instead of getting out the spade queen at the end of play. Maybe wasn't paying all that close attention to declare pitching a spade on that 4th diamond. So no guess in the other room. Oh, Babs, you didn't realize this was BAM? Yeah, we've been playing BAM all week for the event. It's kind of nice. I mean, it kind of mimics the Ryder Cup, the golf tournament. If you're familiar, I'm not really a golf follower, but the Ryder Cup is like, well, I forget the term, but it's basically board a match, but golf style.
Yeah, medal play, they call it.
Yeah, there we go.
Match play, where every hole is its own independent event.
Yeah, great. Chat understands match
I
play.
think medal play is when you play through all 18 holes. Yeah, so meanwhile, East-West have done well, I think, to get to a major suit game, although maybe they would have done better in hearts. Maybe it's the same. They have a spade loser in either contract. But, I think it wasn't totally obvious they were going to get there.
No, for sure not. I mean, West does have a nice hand, 20 highs with the stiff king of clubs, 6-4 in the majors.
Yeah, like 20 opposite 3 with a wasted king. It's not totally clear to get to game.
Nope, not at all. But, I mean, Brogland opposite his partner bidding one of his major suits was happy to just try out the game. Makes sense. They did get to 4 spades in the other room as well and also made it.
Yeah, and this kind of seems like an individual kind of bit to me, where playing with your regular expert partner, where you can have nuanced auctions, maybe West would have like been a little more delicate. Here, playing with a new partner, even a world class expert, I was like, we probably make four spades, fine. I think
Well,
if
do,
West could have invited game, he might have chosen to.
so do we make four spades?
Don't-
Because this line of defense has actually made Declare's life almost impossible. I think to
Rough
make it from here, Declare has to abandon trumps and just cash the ace king of hearts, which, like, for one thing, it wasn't even obvious Declare was going to cash the ace king of hearts. They might have played the opening bidder for the heart queen. But he does cash the ace of hearts. There's no way, right?
So how did they make it in the other room?
Well, it's very easy if South doesn't play a second club. So
Oh,
let's
okay, yeah, yeah.
let's take a
Different.
look. The ace of clubs got cashed, and then South cashed the ace of diamonds, and this is actually enough.
Well, doesn't that seem like a pretty big mistake, though? Like, isn't the West Hand the kind of hand where we don't know what partner's card holding is, but we can see that the West Hand is going to be the hand that takes all the tricks, so the best way to cut it off is going to be to tap it?
Yeah, absolutely.
This defense of a second club doesn't seem that hard to me.
No, it's definitely not. And I mean, I'm certain that Precario had his reasons for cashing the diamond ace. I mean, for one, what was the auction at the other table? Let me take a look at that. Same auction. I mean, if East had king fifth of spades and a doubleton heart, then we do need to cash the ace of diamonds because otherwise it goes away.
Right. It's true. I mean, I feel like though there's, a lot of hands of this type where if you switched East and West and the strong hand was concealed, we would all just tap declare instinctively. Like it's kind of, this weird blind spot even experts can have when it's in the dummy.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm not going to dispute the fact that it's a lot harder to force dummy than it is to force declare.
Yeah.
On defense. That's kind of the point you're making. But
Yeah.
I mean, there is Precario's defense made sense, right? Like, again, he's playing board a match. Like, at Imps, everyone would play a second club. Literally
Yeah.
everyone. But playing board a match, I mean, Precario was worried his ace of diamonds could go away, and it could have. Like I said, I mean, if East has king fifth of spades and a doubleton heart, then declare pulls 3 rounds of trumps, roughs the heart suit good, gets back to the West Hand and pitches all the diamonds on the hearts. So
Yeah, no, I get it. To be a little devil's advocate, if you think that your opponents aren't always getting to this game, then saving the over trick doesn't really matter.
sure, yeah. Well, in the meantime, Klukowski has really paused here after the ace of hearts is cashed. I'm very surprised he hasn't played the queen of spades yet. I mean, I don't really see the danger in cashing a high heart. Like, sure, hearts could be 4-0, but it seems you're probably in trouble if that's the case anyway.
And if they maybe North has the void and your 10-8 become useful for finesses against South.
Yeah, that could be as well. So, I understand the ace of hearts play, but he is really not pulling a second trump, and that seems okay. He does finally play the spade queen, and I think this is too much for him to overcome, because now if Declare starts running hearts, North can rough in, cross to his partner in diamonds, and get a third round of clubs, over roughing the dummy. So this should be down 1. Yeah, the jack of diamonds will come round to Herd's ace, and Herd already has done his good work by playing a second club. He'll easily find a third club to play.
I mean, a spade is fine also because South can hop up with the ace and cash a club.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, I guess that's also the case on the sly of the cards. He could just exit a spade and his partner will get the club queen.
Yes,
That does work. Last little bit of defense up with the ace of diamonds, queen of clubs. Duclair has the rest, but that'll be a win for USA.
Yeah, so nice defense by both Hurd and Purcell to get a win.
Yeah, for sure.
So now, how does this individual work? Like, are these four really playing 12 boards?
Yep. It's six rounds. So I don't know how many partnerships are going to be created over. I mean, probably six, but it's.
So if there's 8 people per team, I guess everyone plays with all of their teammates except one. Actually, I wonder, maybe they play with all their teammates apart from their regular partner. That would be an interesting way to run it.
I assume that has to be it, because that's the only way to make an individual fair in some sense, if you don't have regular partnerships. Oh, okay. Well, immediately Europe strikes back on the next board. 6 clubs in the other room. Wow. And
so in North America, North-South might have gotten there, but here, South can open 1-0 with a stiff jack, which you cannot do in our country.
That's true. Yeah, the 16 count. And Hurd is all over it. Wow. So, diamond opening lead. I mean...
So a diamond lead and a misguess would beat 6 clubs because you need to set up the spades for those 2 pitches.
Yeah, Sanborn at the other table did lead a spade at trick 1, so Duclair had no trouble setting up the spade suit and then just roughing 2 hearts. But yeah, the diamond suit does provide a guess at trick 1. PJF's asking about it. I don't know. Duclair would have to guess.
Yeah, I think, it's going to depend a lot on both the auction and the personalities, I think. Some players are more likely to lead away from a king. I think the biggest variable is going to be the auction.
Yeah, Jack of Spades comes. Broglen playing the 5, which to Klukowski, that might look like low from 9 Doubleton, for example. So the Jack holds.
Yeah, and it also might be, I guess, not super popular in Europe, but maybe it's Smith. Could be saying, like, partner, well, I guess partner's never returning a diamond, but even, in a Smith context, it doesn't really say so much, don't return a diamond, as I like the alternative.
Right. Yeah, which is mostly true. I mean, West doesn't care much for the diamond suit, but does have this Queen of Hearts, Queen 9/5.
Yeah, I think, Smith on a hand like this, where Duclair is known to have a strong holding, the opening lead suit really just says, I like the side suit, or I don't like the side suit. It says nothing about the opening lead suit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that Queen 10/4 of diamonds that popped up in dummy is a very scary holding, and Klukowski did very well to not play the king at trick 1. Otherwise, Duclair would have taken 4 diamond tricks. I would kind of just note here that the matrix that we have available to us in terms of like end positions, the diamond suit is technically frozen, meaning that neither defender can profit from leading it from their side. And this often leads to end positions where Duclair can just cash all of their winners and then exit a suit, and the opponents will be in a lot of frozen suit positions, forced in a way to keep like 2 cards in the diamond suit. But here, that's just not a situation that's really going to arise, because as Declare runs all of their tricks, they're going to have to end in their own hand. And so Brogland will be able to, for example, abandon diamonds in an end
But it is
possession.
true if, single dummy at least with unlimited entries, if either defender ever pitched a diamond, Declare could take 4 tricks.
Right.
Either run the queen to pin the jack or cash the ace to drop the king.
Yeah,
I mean,
PJF
obviously,
mentions that sometimes the border match result is over by the end of the auction and the play doesn't really matter, which is the case in this on this board. But of course, the players aren't entitled to that information, so they do have to go through the motions and play the hand. I mean, you never know as well. Like, there could have been a ruling at the other table that I'm not sure what the auction to 6 clubs was, but let's take a look.
I mean, here I think heard, probably everyone at the table, but certainly the Declare is going to think that this is going to be a pretty common contract, right? Like, 3-0 with 28 highs and a minor suit fit seems pretty normal.
Yeah, I think
Like,
Dummy had
it's a
13.
grand slam.
Right, yeah. So the club fit's nice. I mean, the fact that Declare really doesn't have any jacks other than this somewhat useful jack of clubs and the jack of spades to fill in the spade suit is helpful for slam. The singleton heart is nice. The 9th club is really important. And even beyond that, an opening diamond lead would still put Declare to a guess. It's not like 6 clubs, is a great contract, but it happens to be okay.
Yeah, I mean, the Jack of Spades turns out to be a nice card, but the King of Hearts is 100% wasted.
Right. All right,
Yeah, so
Klukowski
here,
deciding whether to take his ace here or to duck again, probably considering a lot of potential squeezes that could arise. Normally, as a defender, you do not want to relinquish the master card of a suit because there's a lot more squeezes that are functional if Declare has all of the high cards in all of the suits than there are if they're missing high cards. So it's good practice as long as you don't think your ace of spades is going away anywhere to duck this trick. But that's kind of what Klukowski's playing with right now.
yeah, and I think one thing he's thinking about is, if he wins, he's committed to playing a heart, and unless it's really necessary to do that right this second, which it probably isn't, it's probably okay to duck it. And as you say, ducking can pay dividends in a lot of squeeze hands, just a lot of positions where, okay, great, like Declare has banked his second spade trick. Now he gets to look around and figure out what to do next. Like, it's hard to imagine that it's really essential to win this trick and play a heart.
Right.
Like, it might be useful, but it's rarely going to be totally necessary.
Yeah, and it could be very dangerous, especially if Declare follows to this spade, because then Declare might have started with Jack third. I mean, it would be a strange way to play the spade suit, leave the Jack out of hand. But if they did, then you might be in a position where you're kind of forced to play back a spade instead of switching to hearts to cut communication in that suit. Klukowski does win the ace, though.
Right? Like, Declare has to have a stiff spade, I think, because he led the Jack and then crossed to lead a second one. Why wouldn't he just lead another one from his hand?
Yeah, I mean, it all around it does seem a little bit strange the way Declare is playing the hand, but yeah, in this case,
Yeah, except it turns out to be totally straightforward, right?
yep. Singleton Jack
So,
of spades, and there really just isn't anything Declare can do. Like at some point, that Queen of Spades just has to be cashed from dummy before Declare crosses back to his hand somehow. He's going to have to discard from a red suit, and then the defense can just hang on to the other red suit. In this case, I think East is going to hold on to diamonds and West will hold on to hearts.
Well, I mean, Declare or East might play the Jack of Hearts here, but he could also try playing a spade to force South to make a second pitch.
Right? That too.
You know, that also maybe setting up a spade winner would restrict Declare's options on some hands. You know, like he might just have to cash out. Yeah, he just try hard, but you know, I think there actually is a case for East winning that spade and returning one.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty reasonable. You know, like a lot of these squeezes, like you want to cash all of your side winners and then play the card that puts pressure on the opponents and forces them to discard. Like if Declare just had 4 clubs in hand and could run all the clubs and then lead the Queen of Spades, then they would be better positioned to exert some pressure on East. So your idea of returning a spade there would force Declare, as you say, to kind of prematurely decide what they want to discard on that trick. Makes a lot of sense, but the heart comes back, so up with the ace, and Hurd is definitely... Yeah, he just decides to cash out. He probably asked if the King of Diamonds was falling doubleton or something, and then just said, you guys get a trick at the end. Ultimately, it didn't matter, and oh my god, that is 12 spades between North and South. Wow. And
So
whoa.
East-West must be pretty aggressive, huh?
But I mean, also the result is incredible. It requires West to lead a club to beat 5 spades, unless I'm missing something. How does West find a club lead? I want to look at that auction in the other room now. All right, let's see what happens.
Yeah,
East
true,
bid
otherwise,
5 clubs. Look at Kolesnik go. He planned to save in 5 hearts over 4 spades, but he wanted to get his lead directing bid in first. 5 clubs, beautiful bid from Kolesnik, and Sanborn read it perfectly, finding the club lead at trick 1.
Yeah,
Wow.
so otherwise a club can go on a diamond via that double finesse.
Right. Yeah, exactly that. So
West has no entry.
well done. And also
Yeah.
look at Broglin go. He's opened the West hand, 2 hearts.
Yeah, no alert, but obviously he knows his Polish partner is going to be very tolerant of being 5-4 in the major minor.
That's true. It is a pretty popular convention in Poland. I mean, this is actually a really fascinating 2 heart opener.
I like this bid by West, by the way.
Yeah, it has a
you
lot.
hate to pass. You can't really open one.
It definitely
Sif
has a
spade, I
lot
think,
going
makes
for it.
it,
Yeah, the singleton
Yeah.
spade is nice. You preempt the auction. I mean, the shape is kind of great. 5-4-3-1. You know, if West was 5-3-3-2, then this bid would have a lot less merit.
Yeah, the strong suit quality is going to make it a little hard for the opponents to nail you. Like, I really like this bid. I think, you know, like playing with you, I might open 1 heart because I know you're going to tolerate this.
Sure.
But playing in an unpracticed partnership, you really hate to pass, and 2 hearts, I think, is much better than passing.
Yeah, no, I mean, nice choice. And so far it has put a lot of pressure on North-South. Now, it might be the case that this pressure on North-South, and Klukowski also finds the 5 club bid. So, an opportunity for the Americans, right? Because I think 5 hearts does go down a trick. Declare happens to have 2 diamonds to lose
Yeah,
and a heart.
North can't possibly sell out.
Oh, they don't. Well, wait a second. Do they have 2 diamonds and a heart to lose? No, 5 hearts might just be making. A diamond goes on the clubs.
South doesn't have an entry.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So 5 hearts is making. Sorry, I see your question, G2R2. Are the partnerships different than yesterday? So this is an individual event. And just briefly, what that means is that you're playing a basic convention card with other players on your team for the tournament. And so Pacel decides now to make his slam try with 5 hearts, passes out 4 spades, and then makes a slam try once they get their club lead in. See, I was going to say that if Pacel had just bid 5 hearts directly over 4 spades, I think 650 would have been the result.
It probably would have, but I think, you sort of know your partner is going to be bidding a little bit on your values. Your hand's not great, although it's obviously he doesn't know the king of clubs is wasted at that point. But I think, if your partner's willing to stick his neck out to bid 4 spades, when your hand is kind of scattered like this, even with 2 aces and 4 trumps, you have to just hope that you don't make a slam rather than hoping you do.
Sure, yeah, totally fair.
But here, where he's always bidding out at the 5 level, now it's free.
Well, Brogland is on lead. Now,
and 5 clubs by East here is automatic. In the other room, it looked a little trickier.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So Brogland's on lead, and there is one thing that I think actually is relatively powerful, which is in terms of opening leads. If you preempt on fewer cards than you're expected to hold, and so Brogland does lead a heart, and now Declare, if he's careful about the play, probably is going to end up making 5 spades here. So I guess the point that I was going to make is that if you have fewer cards than you expect, the opponents also might expect their partner to have fewer cards than they hold. And so they can tend to bid on their partner's shortness sometimes, and leading your own suit sometimes just works out for you. Don't know if that's what Brogland was thinking, but that's what he did. And now Declare just has an easy time after this heart lead. Pull another trump, ruff the heart suit, good, and then pass the Jack of Diamonds to East, who is immediately end played into returning a minor suit, giving you 11 tricks. So no trouble in the play for Hurd here, and 5 spades is going to make.
Yeah, I think a very classic expression of this principle is you open one of a major on a 4-card suit, and now you 100% lead it, and sometimes you take 3 tricks in it when both opponents think the other partner has a doubleton or singleton.
Yeah, exactly. That is absolutely the idea. And so Brogland, I think, kind of applying that principle a little bit. He opened on a 5-card heart suit. Sometimes that means the opponents aren't prepared, and it's best to just lead hearts. I mean, he heard partner's 5 club bid. It was lead directing. He knew it. But he might have also just kind of said, well, the opponents also heard my partner's 5 club bid, and they still pushed on to 5 spades. So they're kind of prepared for a club lead. Let me lead my heart suit instead.
Yeah, and hearts could just be 2-2, where you need to set it up instead of the 2-1 that the opponents are counting on for their betting.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
So, anyway, we have a diamond by East. No Polish club here, I think. Probably playing 2/1 to do something that's in a universal language.
Yeah, diamond to heart. West has a big hand, 17 count with a good 6-card heart suit. East does have kind of the flat 12, a bit of a misfit, rebids a spade. So probably 2 clubs. Artificial game force is what they're going to be required to play here. I guess we'll find out in just a second if they have something a bit more sophisticated. Oh, 2 diamonds. Looks like they're playing XYZ. Very nice.
Yeah, so 4-no in the other room, which is a little bit hair-raising. The Jack of Hearts dropping is very helpful.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, the West, like the 17 count from West, you have a source of tricks and hearts. You have a lot of controls and quick tricks. Like, once partner opens the bidding, I think you have to at least make some sort of quantitative invite. But you're right.
Yeah.
The heart suit is a little bit favorable at this point for Declare.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting. So they made an over trick at the other table, and an imps, I think, on a diamond lead, you might take 12 tricks because he would decline the spade finesse and get lucky.
Yeah, it's
So you take
true.
3 spades, 6 hearts, and ace king ace.
I mean, on a
both
low
quarterbacks-
diamond lead from north, I don't know who's going to play the no trump at this point. It seems likely to
Yeah,
be
you could
east,
go for
but
9.
but you could take 2 diamond tricks as well. Yeah,
Right,
there's
but that would be
4-0 from
12.
west. Insta pass from
that would be-
Krukowski.
But they only took 11 at the other table, so it wasn't a diamond ducked around to the 9, presumably, because they would have taken 12 on that defense.
Yeah, South was on lead, and South just let a club at trick 1.
I see. So now Declare had the luxury of taking a spade finesse and losing a trick that deep finesse would not.
It does seem that way. Well, Purcell's on lead here, so
And Queen of Clubs, I'm going to say Clubs is sort of the unbid suit.
and he does lead from Queen Jack third in the club suit. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I think Brogland can win the board with a really amazing view.
Well, I mean, I think the defense comes under a lot of pressure as Declare runs the heart suit. So,
It's true, but Declare also has to find 5 pitches from dummy on the run of the hearts.
he does, yeah.
So like 2 spades are easy, 1 club is easy, 1 diamond is pretty easy. It's I think the defense can probably wait and see and react to Declare's pitches.
It's true. It's true.
If Declare pitches a second club from dummy, North South can abandon all their clubs.
Yeah, they do need to have some good communication though on defense to make sure that they know what Declare's shape is in some sense. Because Brogland, I mean, all he really did was he showed a 4-card heart suit, and then he made an artificial game force, and then he made a quantitative 4 no trump bid. I mean, they'll find out he has some pretty good hearts when he starts running the suit against them, but they don't know what his shape is in the minors. So
It's true. So, is that true though?
well, I mean,
I guess
he
it
could
could
have
be-
3 clubs, right?
He could be 2-6 in the majors.
Yeah, he could be 2-6. I mean, it's probably possible that King of Clubs was a singleton.
And Hurd played the 7 of clubs at trick 1. Maybe the 10 was safe. I get the urge to preserve the 10-9, but if partner's leading from the Queen Jack, isn't it safe to play the 10 and guarantee the count?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Well, I don't know what their count versus showing the 9 agreements would have been a trick 1, but the 7 seems like the worst of all worlds.
Yeah, it was definitely an unusual play, and that's why Purcell has held on to his clubs up to this point. Hurd does need to find a discard on this trick. And so, this is the position where, I think things are already starting to get a little bit hairy for the defense. Hurd does pitch another diamond. Now the last heart. And Purcell needs to find a discard. He does pitch a diamond, so as does Dummy. And I think Hurd should also continue by dumping the diamond queen here. Yeah, good defense so far from north-south. And now it's to Broglin to try and unpack what's going on the hand. I mean, of course, he could cross in a minor suit, like, say, diamonds, to play a spade to the jack.
Well, isn't it better to cross the spades and play a spade to the jack?
Sure. Yeah. Okay, that's actually true. Because now if spades are 3-3 or the queen is on side, you get an extra trick this way. And he has gone wrong. Okay, well, 4-no trump making 5 for a push. Is this what happened in the other room? I didn't actually look through the play. Wow,
so we saw this the other day. They've now played 5 boards in 50 minutes.
I know, it's it's been very slow.
Yeah, I think, I know South is quite a slow player. I think East is mostly kind of normal, except when he tanks, and then it can be glacial. I think West and North are, I think, also both kind of normal.
I think my impression of Klukowski and Broglund is that they're relatively slow. But yeah, I mean, not usually this slow, I would say.
My version of Klofsky was more like, when he tanks, it's for a really long time, but he's not, like tanking on every trick.
Oh, yeah, for sure not. I mean, he's not doing like the novice thing where he like plays a card, he wins his ace, and then he thinks for a while, and then he plays another card, wins another trick, and thinks for a while. He's definitely like thinking in positions where he has something to think about and making a plan for the whole deal. But yeah, like you say, it can be very slow. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess he normally plays with Kalita, who's a pretty, I wouldn't want to say pretty fast, but, normal tempo to quick. Anyway, so we have 4 hearts by North here, 21 highs.
Yeah, Declare has some work to do on this one. King of Hearts is on side, which is good news. But on the surface, Declare does have a spade and a diamond to lose.
So in the other room, they made 10 only tricks. So is there a path to 11 here? I mean, there's only 2 top players.
Like, not really, but Declare does have some opportunities. Declare also has the opportunity to go down if they mishandle the play a little bit. So Diamond lead. If Broglund hops up with the ace here, which he might, and he does, this does give Declare the opportunity to actually make 11 tricks if they take all of the right views. He would need to take the club finesse, and then he would need to, on the 3rd round of diamonds, lead the jack, pinning the 10-3 in East's hand.
Well, I think Declare certainly knows where the Queen of Diamonds is, because West wouldn't hop up without it, I don't think.
That does seem somewhat likely. All right, Broglund false carding by playing the King of Spades back. This is not necessarily a suit preference signal from his side. Just following the principle of defensive false cards, play a card you're known to hold. His partner led the Queen of Spades at trick 1, so he was just following suit.
Yeah, of course, it does mean that he always has to hang on to that 8 of Spades.
Right, yeah.
So Declare now probably takes the heart finesse. And he could try to start cross-ruffing.
Yeah, I mean, there's some danger in taking the heart finesse because If it loses and a heart comes back, then, as you say, the plan of cross-ruffing all the rest of the tricks is just not going to pay off, even if the heart's split 2-2. So a declarer would then need to take a club finesse or need to find another way to take tricks. Whereas, for example, this line of play, ace of clubs, club ruff, diamond to the king, club ruff, diamond ruff, club ruff, will essentially guarantee the contract. I mean, it's not 100%, but it is somewhat close.
Yeah, I guess with only 5 clubs, this is attractive. Like, on a lot of hands like this, you hate to play for cross ruff because your spots are so weak. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Yeah, but here declares kind of middle spots, the queen, jack, 10, or the honor cards were good enough where now in the end position, they do just get to score 1 extra trump trick. So double dummy error, but I don't blame declarer for just taking the safe route to a plus score on the hand.
Wow,
11 count from Herd.
Pretty big result in the other room. 4 spades making east-west.
Yeah.
I mean, a spade, a diamond, and 2 clubs to lose seems pretty normal.
I'm staring at it for a second. I mean,
North does have to lead a diamond at one of his opportunities, either opening lead or ace of clubs to set up that trick before a clubs provides a pitch. But otherwise you can guess the spade. But there's double dummy 4 spades can go down, and even single dummy. I think if the player just cashes the ace king of spades, they're going to go down, right?
Right.
Well, it doesn't matter here. They're in 2.
Yeah. I mean, so West with the 12 count, 7 card spade suit just decides to rebid 2 spades instead of possibly upgrading to 3 spades. PJF trying to push them onto the next hand, which maybe we can get that information passed on.
And Giselle is going to get some brownie points for this lead, but he would have won the board to make this lead against any spade contract.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So the other table, South did open the 11 count, the absolutely grotesque 11 count. I love it. Precario is my new favorite player for doing so, but yeah, West overcalled 4 spades directly over a club, which I don't think that would be most players' choice. But
so he led the jack of spades like a boss.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, not covered. But yeah, the 1 club opening bid got declared to guess the spade suit. So, these late opening bids are very effective at being preemptive, disrupting the opponent's auction, and competing for part scores. All great things at match points or board of match scoring. It's really, really bad to open a little bit late when the opponents end up stealing the contract away from you, because then they know where all of the missing honors are. And so on that hand specifically, Sanborn played the opening bidder for the missing queen of trumps, went anti-percentage in the spade suit, not by a lot, but by a little bit, and ends up picking up another win for USA.
I mean, it's still a pretty big play, right? Because North had 8 points, and 2 of them could have been the queen of spades.
Yeah, but it's like the thing about
it's sort of going with the odds, but yeah.
well, like the thing about these 9 card fits missing the queen is that it's really 52 to 50 in terms of percentages. So like any small inkling to drift you in the other direction, and then you should flip flop, the 8 ever, 9 never rule. And so the opening bid is probably enough on its own. Like South is a little bit more likely than North to hold the spade queen, and we're talking 25 to 26 ratio, right? Like you don't need much to tip the scales in favor of the other direction.
So this is kind of interesting. Broglin's three spade bid.
Yeah.
So, Klukowski maybe needed six. I don't think most modern experts would. And I think a lot of players, even if they were planning to raise to the three level, might have tried three clubs along the way, especially as a passed hand. Partner's going to know it's a raise.
Yeah, it's very true. These sort of lead directing bids.
Really the opponents out of that suit. Like, I'm not sure even what Broglie is trying to accomplish here.
Well, I think his idea is that if he bids three clubs, the opponents kind of get a free shot at either red suit. So the opponents can probably land in diamonds where he's short, whereas the three spade bid really is preemptive.
No, I get that, but if you just pass two spades doubled, the opponents get to three diamonds, and it's not great for you, but maybe it's okay. If they get to three hearts, it's great. Isn't raising to three spades immediately kind of a bet both the partner has a real spade suit and that the opponents were going to get to diamonds and not hearts? Sometimes the opponents just land in your queen jack fourth suit.
They do, but sometimes they do that over three spades. If they're going to get to hearts, they may well do it over three spades, and then we've pushed them a level higher, which we're pretty happy with. So, I think the main consideration here is probably what you pointed out first, which is that East doesn't have to have six spades. I mean, for God's sake, yeah. Broglie opened King, Queen, Jack, fifth, vulnerable in first seat. So, does he really expect Klukowski to hold Ace, King, 10, sixth on non-vulnerable in third? Probably not. That's, I think, the main consideration for the three spade bid.
Meanwhile, despite North-South defending a trick better than their counterparts, Broglie is going to win the board.
Yeah, Declare will be able to rough the diamond in dummy, picking off the last loser that he has, and rough a club back to hand to pull trump. So North-South needed to double three spades. I mean, it actually looks very tempting to me on the South cards to balance with a second double. I mean, I know it's only a 15 count, but you do have the stiff spade. And then who knows what North would do after that. I wonder how they only beat it one in the other room. Yeah, and as you say, Kolesnik opened three spades at the other table on the East hand. So Precario led a heart, but then switched to clubs at trick two. So they didn't get both heart roughs. I see.
The wider the range of that two spades, third seat white is, the more you need to open three spades on a hand like that.
Yeah, for sure. But wow, this is an interesting result from the other room. I mean, four hearts doubled east-west, and I mean, for one thing, it looks like this table, East-West, might never take a call. South opens a spade.
Yeah, obviously. I don't know how the play went. I haven't looked, but you actually have 5 club tricks, so that's really good for East-West.
That's true. I mean, the Queen 10 doubleton of clubs comes down. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so I guess 2 spades and a heart, and now the West hand is good.
Man, Kolesnik at the other table came in with a takeout double over a no trump in this exact same auction.
So I think North-South are about to buy the hand in 3 spades, and they could go down 9 tricks and still win the board.
They're also not vulnerable, so they can even go down more than 9.
Well, they can't go down more than 9. They're only in 3.
but just imagine if they could, then
It is true. They could bid up to the 7 level as long as they're not doubled.
yeah, right, yeah.
Oh, no, so, yeah, that would only be 650, right?
The 650 the hard way. I don't think that expression has ever been uttered in Bridge before with this meaning.
No, but it would win the board.
Wow. Well, huge result once again for the
yeah.
U.S. at the other table. And
I would not have made that double by Kolesnik, but full marks. He bought a fit on the board. I mean, vulnerable against Nod, it seems like a really big position.
it's very scary to do so, but he's kind of aware that he's the one with short spades on this auction. If his partner has long spades, they might be unable to show their heart suit, and he could miss a heart game, which he almost did, but came in with the double, won the board for his side. Two rounds of clubs, and Broglin doesn't have much to do from here.
So now, how does the scoring work? Are they aggregating all of the board and match results across all 6 segments, or is it like if USA wins, they're going to be ahead 5.5 to 3.5 after this board. If they win the segment of the board and match, do they just get one win for the segment, and then the next segment clears the scores?
I mean, the way they did it for the teams was it was all cumulative and carried over the board of matches. So I'm guessing that's what's going to happen here. Broglin returns another club, and Declare does just get to pull trumps from here, and then... oh, wait. Maybe he doesn't.
He might try crossing to the Jack of Spades and taking a diamond finesse.
Well, I'm sure he will, because he actually does need to unblock the spade suit. Whoa. Wow,
Well,
this hand is trippy.
Yeah, and obviously at Imps, you would probably just draw 4 rounds of spades from your hand and place in a diamond.
No, but he can't. East is roughing this with the 9 of spades. So the spade suit gets blocked.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Wow. Okay, very nice defense from Broglin here then. I wasn't paying careful attention to what happened early in the play. He cashed the King of Hearts. Then he switched to the 9 of clubs to his partner's ace, basically saying, I don't want a club back. Klukowski didn't really get the signal and returned a club anyway. And now Broglin had to find another way to get his diamond rough, and it looks like he just did. Wow. Yeah, spade to the jack, diamond to the jack. Or queen of diamonds, I guess.
Yeah, well, this is going to beat it now, right? Because East is still going to get his diamond check.
Yeah. He is absolutely down 1. Declare does take the diamond hook. Broglin roughs. I'm sure Hurd was not happy to see that. But 8 of clubs comes back. Declare can now pull trumps and knock out the diamond king. Still down 1. And still a win for the U.S. PJF, do you think that there should be an extra official in play that just says next hand to players once the play on the deal doesn't matter anymore? I mean, it does seem like you're giving away a lot of information about what's happening at the other table. Absolutely. Okay. Maybe you can petition the WBF or any of these big bridge organizations to make that happen. Other table made it to 4 spades on this one and went plus in that contract. I mean, I guess the trump suit carries a little bit of a problem for Declare, but outside of that, they don't have a ton of losers.
Yeah, I think with the ace king of clubs, you can lose 2 spades and 1 heart, and even if you play the trump suit, incorrectly, it's not really going to matter that much.
You do have to deal with the 4th round of diamonds, but
yeah. Actually, I'm thinking like you play 3 rounds of diamonds overruffed, you might end up losing 3 trump tricks.
Right. Yeah, that's the main concern. So South opens a club. Let's see how they navigate to 4 spades. I'm sure that's where they'll end up. North just has a 13 count opposite partner's opening bid. They have a 5-3 spade fit.
Like club a spade, no trump, game forcing check back, yada yada, 4 spades.
Right? Yeah. There's 1 no from Herd. 2 diamonds from North. PJF says 3 no might be a win on this one.
I mean, the 9-8 of hearts help a lot.
They definitely do. There are some entry problems. Although I do think it's pretty likely West would lead a heart. Anyway, they found the spade fit. They're not going to get to 3-0.
Right, in real life, once North finds out about the 3-card spade support, he's done.
And Purcell doesn't bother investigating a slam. I mean, slam wouldn't be that far off if South had no wasted club cards, which he might, but it's still a little bit difficult to go looking in a new partnership. Finally, a hand they're allowed to play. Yeah, like imagine the this new position, the we'll just call it the next hand guy, is like hovering around your table, and you look up at them at the end of the auction, and they just shake their head like, "Nope, you got to play this one, boys."
So what's your plan here? Like, probably win this pitch a hard, and then do we just start ace king of diamonds, rough a diamond? Do we start trumps?
Oh boy, good question. I mean, it's definitely tempting to just start trumps.
I think we could play ace of clubs, diamond to the ace, spade to the king, and if that holds, now play diamonds again.
Yeah. Okay, Declare is elected to set up their heart trick before doing anything else. This makes some sense. I mean, Declare was in a little bit of danger of getting forced if the defense just continues playing clubs. So get the heart trick set up before you get forced, and then if spades happen to prove problematic later, you can kind of revert to like cashing your winners and cross-ruffing.
Yeah, and on a really bad day, we might not be able to cash the king of clubs, so setting up a heart trick makes sense for that reason too.
For sure.
Imagine, leads with king loses, lead a heart, queen of hearts that holds, and a heart to the king that loses. Now we can't cash the king of clubs early because of the tap, and we can't cash it late because we're never in dummy.
This is true. And there's also kind of the consideration that this is a bit of a discovery play. Declare gets a little bit of information about where missing high cards are, which doesn't always tell you where the ace of spades is, but it might give a little bit of a nod towards West having it when East turns up with the hard ace.
Yeah, and East, if he had the ace of spades, would be getting pretty close to an opening bid here.
Right.
Assuming he has some club card, like 2 aces and a club honor, that's 9 or 10 right there.
Yeah, so like if Klukowski, say, just plays back a heart here, Declare might win. and play a spade to the queen, planning to run the 10 of spades on the next round. That would go very badly if de Clara does try that plan.
I guess I would have thought it was a little more natural to play King of Hearts, Diamond to the Ace, Spade toward the King.
Well, if West has the Ace of Spades, then...
Oh, as you were right, we're at this point, yeah... Ugh.
Yeah, so like Purcell's discovery play kind of, he got the information he wanted. West has the spade ace, and if spades are 3-2, now the best play in the spade suit is low to the queen, run the 10. But when spades are 4-1, this turns out very poorly for your side.
I guess unless we think that they're 3-2 with West holding the 3.
But then it's even 50-50. Like, if you know West has the ace of spades and you know spades are 3-2, it's a huge favorite to hook east for the jack of spades. And I think Purcell probably will just do that. I mean, Klukowski needs to find a card to play here. I think he knows exactly what's going on in hearts. De Clara pitch to heart on the club ace. Oh my. Well, Brogland is not happy with that development. Wow.
I do wonder why East wouldn't want to play a second club. Like, if de Clara isn't cashing the King of Clubs, probably it's because he has some reason to be afraid of, making that play, which means it's probably good for us to do it.
I mean, Klukowski obviously was a bit worried about de Clara roughing diamonds in the dummy. So he's trying to pull some trumps. Huh. Yeah, spade comes back, so de Clara has now picked off the spade suit for just one loser. Still has the last diamond to deal with, the fourth round. And
yeah, but he hasn't picked off the spades for one loser, right? Because he has no dummy entry to finesse the
King of Hearts.
Oh, the King of Hearts, right? He's won the Ace of Hearts. Yeah, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah.
Yeah, a heart comes back. So it's just going to be cash the club king now, pitch a diamond and spade to the 10 and see what happens in the diamond suit.
Yep.
There's no real benefit to trying to rough a diamond in the south hand. I mean, there are some possible trump coups that could occur, but it would be a very strange lie of the cards to play for.
Yeah, and I think de Clara now, knowing the defense has made at least a double dummy error, is pretty happy just to go plus.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, was it actually an error? I wasn't paying that close attention, but did a heart return from East actually? I
mean, I don't know, but he knows that from his point of view, the defense pickled a trump trick, so, he's not going to screw around and possibly give it back after that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like, at least single dummy, he got a gift, so.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Purcell is thrilled to see the actual layout of the cards because I'm not going to say with 100% confidence, but I feel pretty confident his plan was to win the King of Hearts, King of Clubs, pitch a diamond, and then play a spade to the queen. That's what I would have done in that spot. And I think Purcell played on hearts before trumps for that exact reason, that he wanted to try and guess the spades.
So we have kind of a Polish Scandi, one club by West.
Yeah, very interesting. I saw the alerts at the other table. A club could be short, which is exactly what's going on here. club, a heart, a no trump. All pass. Other room got to a no trump from the east. Looks like maybe West rebid a spade over there. Is that what's going on? Oh my God, we have a big board coming up. I just realized.
Yeah, board 12.
Spoiler.
Yep. So this looks like a, one no making an over trick. Seems like, both the minimum and the maximum. 3 spades and 4 hearts with them splitting in a club for offense, and 1 spade and 3 diamonds and 1 club for defense for 5 tricks. So I think this is probably the most normal result in the 12 board set.
Yeah, it looks that way to me.
Actually, the defense gets a second club on this lead.
They will get the second club. So, yeah, recounting the tricks a little bit, there are, in theory, 3 diamonds, 2 clubs, and a spade to take. So 1 no trump could be held to 1.
Yeah, so if they do it, US will win a board for 90. Yeah, in the other room, South led the 9 of spades. So now Declare had a pretty easy ride to 8.
Right. Yeah, I mean, with hearts splitting, 4 hearts, 3 spades, and a club eventually. So South duck the opening club lead.
Yeah, it's going to look a little weird to South, right? Because, presumably North-South are not playing Rusino because he led the jack, but, North led the jack and dummy has 9-8 fourth. It's going to look to South like North's jack lead was abnormal.
Yeah.
Which it was, right? I think the deuce of clubs would be a little more common.
That's true. Yep, that's absolutely true. So yeah, Herd might think clubs are 4-3-3 around the table.
Yeah, so we don't know the North-South carding methods. Obviously, if they're playing upside down reverse Smith, then South has said, I have a club card, and the deuce of spades says, I really have a club card.
Ooh, Purcell switches to hearts. So Declare is going to make the same number of tricks as in the other room. Yeah, it's not that obvious to North, especially given that South didn't take the ace of clubs at trick 1, that he should be continuing the suit. And
yeah, I think this is mostly on North. I think the jack of clubs was kind of a strange choice. South signaled that he had a club card. North maybe should figure out at that point because I think he's also looking at the 9-8 fourth and dummy. He knows South would not squander a club honor in that position.
Right? Yep. Yeah, so North had an opportunity, but ultimately Declare does end up making the same 8 tricks as in the other room. And we're going on to the last board of the first set. There's 6 sets total, 4 today, 2 tomorrow in this event. But I guess USA is currently sitting on top. I don't know what's going on in the other matchups.
Yeah,
but,
so
oh my.
At least for this segment, USA cannot lose. But if it's cumulative, then, they'd love to get that board if they can.
Well, we'll have to see if they manage. Oh, wait. So I'm sorry. What do you mean they made 7 no trump at the other table? I didn't look at this board ahead of time. I just saw the result and I assumed it was one of these 13 cashers.
Also. Yeah. Wow.
What a play by South over there. How did they guess the clubs? They played diamonds and spades and East showed out of both of them. And that was it. Oh, man.
So they Yeah, I mean, kind of reasonable. Although, ew, still a pretty big play.
Yeah, let me just confirm. I didn't actually look to see. Okay, East opened three hearts in third seat. Wait, did you
No,
see the auction in the other room?
overfall 3 hearts.
Did you see the auction at the other table?
Yes.
A diamond, three hearts, seven, no.
That's the kind of auction, honestly, where I wonder if. I guess it's not really possible the operator lost multiple rounds of bidding, but we're like, you wait 10 minutes and then you see South Open 7-0 Trump and there's the contract.
Right.
Like, I guess it probably really is how it happened, but. Ugh. Wow, nice bid by West here. So actually, this is a really nice bid by West. He knows North South have a slam, so he's just trying to steal the Q bid.
Yeah. And this is as you say, very nice bid by West. That's a relatively common thing that a lot of expert players will do, is to take away the opponent's ability to Q bid your suit to show like extras or a fit or something. And that means that North South, I mean, are gonna have to have auctions like this where South doesn't get to bid key card, for example.
Right.
So 5 no.
Right, like it takes up a lot more space than the, two bids that it nominally takes up. Really makes North South have to eat a lot of room to continue the auction above, above 5 clubs, 0 or 5 diamonds. Yeah, so here, what does North think South is trying to do? Like, I think we can see 5 no is just quantitative. What does North think 5 no is?
I mean, I would assume it's pick a slam. Usually is.
Between clubs and diamonds, I guess.
Yeah, so I don't really understand the 6 diamond bid, but
I actually don't think it's pick a slam. So again, like, this is delicate and requires a lot of partnership discussion, but this seems like an auction where 5 hearts would be that, and 5 no is something else. Although maybe 5 hearts should be a grand try, and 5 no should just be pick a 6 level slam. I don't know. It's really hard.
it certainly is a difficult position for South to be in. He hears partner's 6 diamond bid. I mean, I think if North had bid 6 clubs, South probably would have tried 7 no. But over 6 diamonds, South is going to be a little bit worried his partner could have a singleton club over there.
I think South might have tried 7 clubs over 6 clubs, figuring that, maybe can set up the diamonds via a rough and not worry about the major suit finesses.
But the heart finesse, we're getting the heart finesse at trick 1. So, and if we don't, it's probably onside. Like, what sort of diamond suit are we setting up? If partner has the ace king of diamonds, the queen of spades already goes away. I think our only concern is whether or not the clubs are solid from South's perspective.
Right, though, like, what 13 tricks are we taking in no trump? So 7 clubs, 2 hearts, 2 spades, 3. Yeah, I guess all of a sudden that's enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if partner has the ace king of diamonds and we're planning to rough the diamond suit good, we just have 13 cashers.
Right.
And no trump. The only real question is like, are the clubs good? Thank you, PJF. Next hand guy is waving the green flag. I saw everyone's comments and I was a little bit surprised about the automod as well. I tried to look up NHG, and as far as I can tell, it's just some Singaporean health organization. So I don't know why automod is holding that. It has to be something else, but I don't know what it is.
So meanwhile, what do we do here? I guess we just cash, take this heart, play 18 with spades, 3 rounds of diamonds, 2 more spades, and look up at the ceiling and pray.
Well, I think this time and I wasn't paying too close attention at the other table. Let me just see, because West didn't raise to 4 hearts in the other room. West led a low heart. And then on the run of spades and diamonds, West, of course, couldn't play another heart. But it looks like West led... Oh, yeah. West was... So Declare actually had a full count in the other room, and Declare is going to get a full count here of the hand. So they should, if Declare chooses to play on diamonds and spades, he'll pick off the clubs.
Right, just cash one club, and then when you cash the pointed suit tricks, you'll know exactly what East had.
Right, yeah, and Box points that out, that with Broglin's low heart lead, and I think that coupled with the 4 heart bid should clarify the information. The ace of clubs is cash, just in case, just in case the hand doesn't need to be played anymore. But now Hurd will definitely go to work on the other suits before touching another club.
Yeah, of course, even if the diamonds run, he still needs the clubs to come in.
Right.
No, he doesn't.
No.
He's diamonds, yeah. He doesn't, he's not, right?
Yeah, so he'll definitely unblock the spades and then go queen of diamonds, diamond to the ace, cash a couple spades as East pitches, and then cash the other diamond, get a full count on East shape. And then pause for however long Hurd wants to think to make sure that his count is confirmed, and then he'll take a club finesse.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's possible that, West both bid 4 hearts in a doubleton and false card on an opening lead, but that's got to be, I think if West did that, you just tell him nicely done, sir, and, and that's that.
Right, like either one of those things is theoretically possible, but probably not both. Which is why I kind of mentioned that like West's 4 heart bid, I think, does seal the deal for Declare here. King of diamonds cashes. Now Hurd pauses for however long he wants to just clarify that his count on the hand is right, and he leads a club to the 10.
Oh, I see. He doesn't cash Jack of Spades because it would give West a winner if that club finesse was losing.
Right, yeah. Actually relatively important to not do so.
Yeah.
So 22-20 for a push. Well done. Wow. Okay. So USA crushed China in the other match they were playing. They're currently sitting on top with 16. Europe in second with 9.5, and China is in third with 6.5 through one set.
Well, we've got a lot of shape going around to start the segment here.
Yeah, very exciting first board. I mean, it looks like with the Queen of Spades falling and the club finesse working, 6 spades is a making spot for East-West. East opens a diamond, the 14 count. I guess 6 clubs also makes. Is that true?
I think it's going to be... it looks like it, but I think it's going to be tough for East-West to get into the slam zone here, right? West is going to check back. She'll presumably probably have to bury the clubs to show the 6 spades. East is never going to like his hand with a maximum of high cards but no spots. I think it's going to be really tough for East-West to get onto a slam track.
A little bit of the key to the hand is the singleton king of diamonds opposite the ace queen.
Not really, though, right? Because in spades or clubs, you still need the club finesse. It's only 2 pitches.
Right, but
it helps in that 2, but it doesn't get you to 12.
Yeah, but like in this case, because the clubs are 4-1, it actually is necessary to get those two pitches. Otherwise, you can't deal with the club suit.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, Sanborn, I mean, you already mentioned that she's like pretty aggressive. I guess we'll see how that comes across on this hand. You suggested possibly burying the club suit to just game force and show a single suitor in spades. I mean, I don't think she has to do that. She could go through 2 diamonds and then bid 3 clubs to show basically 5-5.
Right, well, that's the problem. If you do that, you're a lot of times burying the 6 spade. That's kind of what I meant by has to.
Right, yeah, like it's a choice. And if West thinks that her hand is slam worthy, then she may well do that. But
I guess you can still do it, I guess, right? 2 diamonds, Kaplan bids 2 hearts, you bid 2 spades. That probably shows a 6 spade, because otherwise you bid 3 no and let partner correct if he had 3 of them, if he was 3-4 in the majors.
Right.
And then when Kaplan bids a hypothetical 2 no over your 2 spade bid, now you bid 3 clubs, but like that doesn't show a 5th club, it just says clubs. It gets tricky. Anyway, she has bid 3 clubs, which she obviously thinks game forcing. It is not totally clear to me that this is going to that Kaplan is going to find a bid here.
Well, I mean, he does have a maximum, so opposite a 5-5 invite, he's just going to try something.
If that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think for some players it would be a 4-6 non-invite.
That's true. Yeah, if you're playing XYZ, where 2 diamonds would be the game force, then most players would bid 2 no trump to do like a sign-off in clubs type thing. But 3 clubs, yeah. Kaplan, I mean, I think Kaplan just makes the practical bid. He wants to accept a game try, and he wants to show where he's strongest, which is diamonds. So 3 diamonds, 3 spades.
I think for most players in a 2-way check back context, this is a picture bid, but I'm sure Sanborn was, a little bit nervous when she made that call.
I mean, yeah, she spent quite a bit of time before bidding 3 clubs, and
right.
3 spades.
So I think now this shows 6-5, because I think she could have punted with 3 hearts with 5-5.
Yeah, so Kaplan raised us to 4 spades, and West judges that her hand is not slam worthy, goes low. Now, she's
kind of right. It's obviously slam worthy on this layout, but if you could see Kaplan's card, she wouldn't want to be in slam.
Right. Oh, wow, so North doesn't lead the stiff club, which is good for her side. This heart lead is going to make Declare's life actually pretty challenging. I think a pretty sensible line of play is to win the ace of hearts and then lead the jack of spades. This would be the best way to pick off the spade suit for 0 losers. Remember, we're still playing board a match, so Declare is trying to take as many tricks as possible.
I think once you know that West has 5-5 in the black suits in a game force, a stiff club lead isn't that attractive. Like if North had shorter spades, maybe it would be because partner could have a spade entry. Here, partner probably can't.
Yeah, jack of spades, there it is. The queen pops up. Now, is there a chance Declare just immediately goes down? Like king of diamonds, club to the king, ace queen of diamonds pitching clubs, North roughs in, and then just exits a heart. Declare still has to lose a spade and a club. I guess it's not down, but it would be making 10 tricks.
At board match, it would feel like it.
Yeah, for sure.
I think an alternative might be club to the king and a spade, planning to overtake the king of clubs and hope to take a club finesse if things look ugly. Or king of diamonds, rather.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense. That's probably a lot better than the one I suggested, but
Yeah,
um,
like once you're sort of banking on the club finesse, you might as well bank on it to be 3-2 rather than 4-1, and then
right.
overtaking the diamond isn't going to cost you anything.
Yep, absolutely. Good point. So Declare does elect to just lay down another top spade, and that works out pretty nicely. North once again kind of declining um, playing their singleton club. North had multiple opportunities to go looking for a club rough, and I think just judged that this was pretty likely playing into Declare's hands. Precario pitches a club. I mean, he can kind of see what's going on this hand.
Yeah.
He also kind of felt a little bit squeezed on this spade because he
Right.
can't pitch a
He
diamond, and pitching the king
pitch
of
a heart.
hearts could be scary. But he does pitch the heart king.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think, the Jack of Spades looks a little embarrassing when it's Stiff Queen, but actually costs nothing because if you play Ace in another, North still has a trump trick. So it actually also unblocked the suit, so, really did not cost Declare anything.
Right. Yeah.
So, and by the way, that club pitch, as we can see here, might have been a nice play by Precario. Now Sanborn has to wonder, would he really do this from Queen Fourth?
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting problem because technically South was getting squeezed. If South had pitched the
Right.
King of Hearts on the previous spade rather than throwing a club, the next spade would have squeezed him because he needs to
Yeah.
hold on to the diamonds. Otherwise, Declare doesn't need the club finesse at the end. The nine of diamonds would just be a winner. So Declare actually always had 12 tricks in this position if she was brave enough to cash her last trump before touching the club suit.
But yeah, obviously this would be a nice result for North South if Sanborn does go wrong here.
It's so difficult for her to get this right because North was in twice on the opening lead and then with the ten of spades and could have tried
Never
to
let
get a
us
club
know.
rough and didn't. But
Yeah, and maybe North wouldn't have tried that, given that West was known to have a long, strong club suit. It's not totally automatic for North to be going for a rough, given the information that she had.
yeah, and she does very well. So Sanborn
Yeah.
guesses it, picks off the clubs, gets 12
Yeah.
tricks on the deal. I mean, that could be enough to win the board because it's not so clear that the other table will be taking 12 tricks on this one. But one thing I would point out is like because there's so few players in this event and they've already been playing against each other for 3 days, they might have some sort of sense of what the others are capable of. I mean, I'm sure Sanborn and Brown have sat at the same table many, many times already in the event. So maybe she was aware that North might not lead the singleton club and picks off the suit. South opens a spade on the second board. North game forcing two clubs.
Yeah, so North's plan obviously is to support spades and see what happens. They're 5-0, but zero trump tricks for the defense, at least on power. So North South, I think, can make a spade game in spite of that break, right? I mean, they'd have to
Let's
get.
see. I mean, the
I think it's
clubs
just
are
the club.
friendly.
Yeah, so five spades and a heart, two diamonds, and two clubs. In theory, that's 10. That 10 on of hearts maybe is helpful because it's going to make the defense. Um, it's going to make it a little harder for the defense to cash more than two heart tricks.
Yeah, and I think I mean, I'm sure West is going to lead a trump against four spades here. But if West doesn't lead a trump, then Declare may well be able to ruff a number of hearts in the north hand and score extra tricks that way.
Yeah, I actually, like, West obviously did lead a trump. I thought a diamond was a reasonable alternative.
No, it's a doubleton, Craig. No, don't speak any of your blasphemous ideas on this channel.
So, what does Declare do now? Presumably lead a club, but then when West plays small, it really is a guess. Probably put in the 10, but I think, on some layouts, West might duck the ace of clubs. I'm also a little surprised Declare let the six of spades hold. Like, he doesn't really want to be in dummy now, I don't think. I guess he could lead a heart to the 10 to try to set up his ruffs.
Maybe his plan is to lead a diamond to the queen.
Yeah.
It's like very dangerous. If West gets in, West plays another trump and you're in a lot of trouble. Yeah, he does lead a diamond to the queen.
Doesn't overtaking the spade and leading a club feel a little more natural?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I
if West hops up, you're just done, right? I mean, not quite, but you're pretty close.
You're definitely in good shape if West pops up with the ace of clubs. At least you have decent odds of making it from there.
I guess that's only 9. You need either a heart ruff or the diamond on side, and
yeah, or some sort of squeeze or something like that.
Yeah,
but I mean, like, because it's board a match and because the other table is going to be in four spades on this hand, I mean, maybe they get to 3 now. I assume Precario has spent a little bit of time thinking about how 3 no trump does on this deal. But we expect them to be in four spades. It could be right to play for down 1 on a hand like this and try and beat the opponents that way if we think that that four spades is going to have some trouble making. Kaplan returns a low diamond rather than the jack, which Declare could have run around to the 9 holding. But now a club to the king and ace. Another diamond comes back. West can ruff. And is that too much?
Yeah, I think now Declare still has to lose a heart no matter what.
Yeah, because now dummy has been killed of entries. So even though the jack of clubs falls,
right, West will ruff one of the minor suit winners as Declare pitches that long heart.
Yeah, exactly. So this is just down 1.
I think Precario should know that the contract is going to be 4 spades. Like, presumably most auctions are going to end with North suggesting spades, suggesting no trump as an alternative, and South is always going to pick spades.
Yeah, I think so as well. King of Hearts comes back, Declare ducks, and now Declare just basically has a high cross ruff. He can cash the queen of clubs to pitch a heart and ruff a heart in the north hand. So 4 spades, 1 down. We'll see if the US Declare in the other room is able to make the contract once they get there. But, oh boy, Bake and Klukowski just blast into 6 spades east-west at the other table on the first board. And not only did they get there, despite north-south preempting to the 4 level and hearts against them, but they end up making it. Wow. A diamond comes through. I'm just staring at the at the play for a second, and South got squeezed in the minors. Crazy. Well judged, well played. Six spades making six. Europe picks up a point. Ooh, board three. There's so much shape going around. Precario gets to open a spade. We see a takeout double from Sanborn. 15
what
count.
do you do? What a strange problem by North.
Yeah, so four spades. Kaplan passes. This will go back around to West, who can balance again. I assume double.
I think probably for no, maybe, catering to the void is in the picture.
Yeah, it's definitely dangerous. North rewinds the double to say, I have a good hand. I think we're making this. They were not. Just a spoiler alert.
I do like the second double by West, given that she has approximately three tricks in her hand. I think she didn't have those two red suit aces. Four no might be more attractive.
Yeah, for sure. And I also think that if West was 0-4-4-5, 4-0 trump might be a bit more attractive as well, because then you kind of have the right shape for it.
Yeah, because with equal length, partner is always going to be the cheaper suit. I think part of it is partner is always going to pass with an indifferent flat hand. And when you have ace, ace, king, queen, you don't need that much to go plus. If she had fewer aces, she just knows she's going minus 590 or 690.
For sure.
So meanwhile, North, having redoubled, has passed it around to partner. And I'm not sure this is a forcing pass, even after North showed a good hand with a redouble. I think, yeah, South has chosen to obey the force. I'm not sure that it's supposed to be. Maybe
No,
it is.
but
Maybe it has to be a force. But I feel like, North has sent two messages. One is, I don't have a game force, and the other is top of my range. So I don't think that redouble should set up a force.
I think I do agree on that. I also think that South is looking at King, Queen, third of diamonds, and East has suggested both minors. So
yeah, but to me, in my world, I think North has said I'd love for you to do something, but you don't have to.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. North does lead the singleton this time, and I think that is a really important card to have played, because I'm wondering if North had led a spade, could Declare have ruffed, pulled 2 rounds of trumps, and then ducked a diamond to North, who might have been end played into setting up some hearts. I guess Declare doesn't get enough discards. They get 2 pitches on the hearts, but that's not enough. Okay, I take it all back. It looks like the Jack of Diamonds lead was not necessary.
I think that lead is pretty obvious, though, right? Partner doubled. The spade, partner knows the spades are irrelevant for tricking purposes. We have the king, queen of hearts. East, west are playing in clubs. Partner has to have diamond cards.
Yeah, I agree. Precario wins the diamond and immediately lays down a spade.
Yeah, I think that spade was just a guaranteed safe exit. Obviously, he knows it's not cashing. Well, I don't want to say knows, but strongly suspects.
Yep. Heart comes through, Declare claims down 1, and good result because, 5 spades was not making.
Yeah. And when I say strongly suspects, mostly because West reopened red-white. She's going to have a void. She has 1 spade at most, because we're looking at 5, 6 in her hand, 5 in partner's hand, and 1 in dummy. West isn't reopening red-white without a void a lot of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, moving on. I think probably 2 passes to East, and then South has an annoying problem.
Yeah, East opens a diamond, and
One no, one spade.
17 count. I mean, a no trump
Yeah.
does feel like the only realistic bid on the South cards.
I think so, but obviously it's not super attractive. Like I think one spade is possible. An Italian-esque double, maybe even planning to rebid two no trump.
Yeah,
Like
there
you're a
was
little late for it, but
there was actually like a relatively interesting type of hand from the Real Bridge contest, maybe last month or 2 months ago, where South had a similar type of hand. Oh, you said Italian-esque double. Guess what nationality South is?
yeah, I know that's why I was suggesting it.
Yeah, good point. I'm sorry that I doubted you. But
Yeah.
South makes the takeout double of diamonds with guess what long suit he holds. Yep, that's right, diamonds.
Yeah, I think if partner bids a heart, we bid two no. The danger is when we have the stiff club, partner bids two clubs. Now we have to bid two no, and that's a nightmare. I mean, I guess we could pass two clubs and hope that our, four-ish tricks are good enough to combine for not a disaster.
Right. I really don't know what the Italians do when partner bids their singleton opposite a takeout double, but I will find out one of these days, I'm sure. Not today.
Yep, so Brown bids three clubs. Precario decides that must mean that she has both longer clubs, which she has to have for this bid, but also extras because she could have just rebid two spades. So he just bids the game. Seems practical in a new partnership.
I mean, I'm very curious about whether or not two diamonds shows spade support. I think for most players it wouldn't.
I don't think it did, but three spades would show spade support too by South.
Right? Yep.
He didn't have to bid the game. So this, meanwhile, is going to do pretty well, right? We'll win this. We can take a heart finesse and take three tricks there and then just cross rough until we stop winning tricks.
That does seem correct. I mean, with West not over-roughing the clubs and East not over-roughing the diamonds. Yeah, so how good is this going to be? Declare has 5 tricks outside the trump suit, and do they get all of the trumps? I guess they're shy one trick.
We're not going to take 13 tricks.
Yeah, are you so sure? I mean, it's actually pretty close.
But yeah, I think Declare 100% knows that Heart Finesse is winning, so I think he's going to take it early and then cross rough and, end with some number of tricks and not really care what that number is.
Right, yeah, like Diamond Rough now seems pretty clear, and then just lead the Jack of Hearts. That holds, heart to the Queen, Ace of Hearts, cash all of our side suit winners before someone starts discarding them.
Yep.
Here comes the Jack of Hearts. I mean, what's the alternative? Declare could play a spade to the 10 now, rough another diamond. Yeah, okay, they just play a heart. Heart to the 10. This line of play a little bit more dangerous because if West was pitching on this diamond, West might have pitched a heart. That's why we want to cash all of our hearts before doing anything else. Like here, very important to cash the heart ace right now. Ooh, okay.
I mean, it's sort of okay because we can take a spade finesse and cash ace of hearts. But yeah, as you say, we know the heart. I mean, the hearts have to be 4-3, right?
Right.
Or East can maybe have King Doubleton of hearts, but there's no way that West is short in hearts.
Yeah, that would give East King 5th of hearts, and they didn't open it in third seat.
I mean, this, will actually no. I think this did cost North-South a trick, right? So
it should still be 12.
Spades. How are we getting 12?
The 9 of diamonds is good.
The 9 of diamonds is the winner. Yeah. So.
Yeah, Declare has roughed all of the diamonds good. I mean, this would be a lot more problematic if diamonds were 5-2, then declare really needed to cash all of the hearts before playing even a third round of diamonds.
Wow, so quite a result on board three. The Europeans won the point for North South, bidding six spades.
They were trying to duplicate some of the aggression. I mean, like, there was a lot of bidding going on at that table. Same start to the auction, but Klukowski, sitting in Kaplan's seat, did decide to bid four no trump over four spades with 5-5 in the minors, despite having just bare ace. And South preemptively saved Hurd at the 5 level. 5 no trump from West, and then Molson, I mean, hearing partner already save and having a 6 trump herself and no aces, decided to save at the 6 level.
Yeah, and notice West here, after East bid 4 no, was thinking grand and actually made a Grand Slam try. He passed six spades.
Right. So Europe is striking back hard in the second segment. I mean, they got a small loss against USA in the first set that we saw earlier, and now they're up 2.5 to a half.
So one club, a little, probably one club plus transfers, a short club and unbalanced diamond kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen them play transfers. I think it's just could be short club is what they're doing, but it's hard in these individuals. You can't throw too many conventions on, but you still want to give the players something to work with. South has a problem. How do we solve this problem?
Yeah, I think South would love to bid an invitational club, something or other, but probably doesn't have that available.
Well, it's not just that. It's that over one club, North could have longer diamonds, right? Like, these are kind of the danger hands for the could be short club. South doubles?
Yeah, I was going to say, this seems like kind of a scary way to solve the problem.
Wait, hold on. So I mean, look,
double worked out great on the last hand.
That's true. Now I'm stumbling over my words. This doesn't show hearts, right? Like, that's what we're thinking, but what does it show?
So West 2 hearts here is presumably as transferred spades, showing a sound raise to 2 spades. Yep. East bid 2 spades. The hearts East West are totally coincidental.
Okay, Precario has found their fit. It is clubs.
Yeah, but now North here, I guess has to pass, but he's obviously going to be super nervous, especially red-white at board a match.
Just, I mean, imagine if North bids 3 hearts here. Now what?
Right.
Okay, so 3 clubs it is. North has passed. As you say, relatively nervous.
Yeah, so obviously diamonds would be a much better trump suit, but clubs isn't terrible if she plays, a spade to the 10. The 6 of clubs holds up to draw the 4th round of trumps.
Yeah, there is a diamond ruff available that I think the defense is going to find.
Yeah, but how many tricks is that, right? It'll be 1 hard, a diamond, and a rough, a club. That's still a plus score for North-South, which I think would thrill North to death if you told her that right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's certainly nice, but the one problem is that there's no diamond ruff if diamonds are trumps. So it might be a short-lived victory to go plus in 3 clubs when 3 diamonds makes an extra trick in the other room.
No, it's true, but I meant as a play problem consideration. She can't do anything about that. The best she can do is play 3 clubs as effectively as possible. If there's a different contract that's better, so be it.
That's true. And And I guess,
Like he has no possible play to push the board against a diamond contract.
right, right. And I guess, like, technically, double dummy, we could lead the jack of clubs against three diamonds, and that eight of diamonds is a pretty big card. But
Yeah,
that's
get a club rough to push the board in diamonds.
yeah, it's just not a realistic thing to have happen. So
No, I think the north south real possibility is that they're just declaring, or east west are declaring the hand in two of a major.
that could
Like,
be a win as well.
right,
So,
like that's their real win potential.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, like, how does two spades actually do with a couple of trump losers, a couple of heart losers, and at least one club loser from North's perspective?
Yeah, two hearts. The limit is going to be two probably because you can get ace king of spades and a rough and two more trumps than the ace of clubs. But even I mean, if north south, if east west rather, are down a trick or two in two of a major, our plus 110 beats that too.
Yep, absolutely. We will keep our eyes peeled for the result from the other room, but they're currently playing board 4 over there. So club to the 10 holds. This is a good play from Sanborn for a number of reasons. I mean, one, it might incentivize Declare to try and cross to the north hand to get take another club finesse, and that might open up the door for a couple of diamond roughs, for one thing. But
Yeah.
two, she wants to kind of wait on this king of clubs to get a signal from her partner. I mean, it might be the case that her partner really wants her to switch to hearts for some reason instead of playing diamonds. So, yeah, the jack of diamonds goes to the queen and king. And I mean, this is a bit dangerous, but I think Kaplan, he ducks actually. Oh my. Well,
North was going to feel like a genius. He goes eight of clubs, jack, queen, and she's already leading to the next trick.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kaplan's duck, looking at the 10-9 of diamonds and dummy, maybe is ill advised. Like, I think, this type of spot, you might want to duck it to induce Declare to take another finesse, but here it goes jack, queen, king, and you know that Declare can just play them from either hand to force it out.
Right. And I think more to the point is just why is partner playing the queen of diamonds? As you said, looking at the jack 10-9 of diamonds and dummy, partner wouldn't do that unless their diamond was exactly a singleton queen. Like that.
No. Partner, well, I mean, that's probably true too, but, I think, like, also, why, how does it gain us to duck this trick? I mean, I guess if Declare needs to, I don't know, draw trumps and we can tap them and maybe shut out the diamonds is what he's hoping.
Yeah. So, okay. Fascinating decision. Oh man, North was on top of this. I wanted to talk about this choice. So this is necessary for Declare. Now we cash two clubs, pitching a spade and a heart from the north hand, pulling all the trumps, and then we work on the diamond suit. If Declare had won the king of spades, they would have cost themselves a trick, but this is 100% guarantee to make 10 tricks from here. Pulling the last trump, pitch the 7 of hearts. Don't pitch a diamond because that would unnecessarily strand the diamond suit. And now just knock out the diamonds. If the opponents play on hearts, great. You get your 10th trick in hearts. If they play on spades, you can pitch a heart and you don't need to knock out the ace anymore. So
yeah, like it turns out, since we have controls in every other suit, we don't need the trump suit as a control, but it's really important to keep the king of spades as a stopper.
yeah, exactly. I mean, and players might be like, well, what's the difference? Like, if we hadn't roughed the spade, then like we would have one more trump and we would be in control. But the problem is we're in the wrong hand to pull trumps then. And then you would have to immediately play a diamond to get back to the south hand. And with the diamond splitting 3-1, the defense would get a diamond rough from there. So
Yeah.
very well done. And I mean, Brown, excellent judgment there to kind of work out the position while West was thinking and just be all over that play, when a spade came through. Oh boy, Europe is running away with it. Board
really
4.
Very quickly, like that kind of hand where you diagnose that it's safe to tap yourself out can be really hard to figure out.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely is the case, but it did not present any problem to our dear friend North.
Yeah, Fiona Brown is a strong player. We haven't seen her much in World Championship play, but she's one of the very good, internationals who I think possibly just doesn't play as much as she might otherwise because of her transnational status.
Ah, I see. Well, really demonstrating that she deserves to be here in this, I would call it a prestigious event. I mean, it's still a little bit unclear. I've seen some questions raised about like how were teams selected for these things, but yeah, board 4, I just wanted to point out quickly before we dive into this sixth hand, one no trump at the other table. South overcalled a no trump. I mean, listen, like Craig and I can predict what the American players will do. We have no idea what the European players are going to do on any hand. Herd just overcalls a no trump that goes all pass.
Yeah, who's we? Because I did predict what South was going to do.
Oh, that's true. You know what? I take it back. Craig is all over predicting the European pairs choices, but a no trump does look like kind of the more natural thing to my American eyes. And Herd also did the same, but cost him a game swing.
For what it's worth, I think Italian South would always double. I think most of the rest of Europe would also be a no trump.
I think so too. Yeah. I just like double would never in a million years occur to me as a choice on the South hand.
Yeah.
But
meanwhile, so North has kind of, unfortunately her hand is weak enough that she can't really investigate a 5-3 spade fit. She has to bid 2-no invitational.
Yeah, you're a little bit sad, but it's also a bit unlikely that you have a 5-3 spade fit. I mean, sure, South could be 3-5-4-1 in shape. It's always possible, but it's a lot more likely that partners shorten spades, and that's why 2-no is like the least of all evils on the North cards. Precario,
I think the alternative, especially at match points, North might even just try a quiet 2-heart preference with all those queens.
Yeah, it's sensible. Playing in the major,
is it?
Yeah, I mean, like playing in the major is preferable to playing in the minor usually in these positions. But I think North was also just content to play 2-no trump even on a bit of a misfit.
Actually, I think it's kind of interesting. So I don't think they are, but if North South are playing Gazilli, I think 2 hearts is actually really attractive because South's hand, once it's limited, where's your tricks in no trump? You really are threading the needle for 2-no trump to be, or 3-no even to be the best spot.
Yeah, interesting point. I mean, I guess if South has a club honor, right? If South had maybe the more likely 1-5-4-3 shape with like the ace or king of clubs, then 2-no might be best just on like taking some tricks in every suit. And if the hearts are a little bit weak, we might lose quite a few heart tricks, but 2 hearts could be right. Rough some spades in the South hand, score some small trumps on elopement, and then just try and cash some winners on the side. Three diamonds, huh? Sandboard needs to decide whether to take the ace of spades. She does.
Yeah, she obviously knows, looking at the spade spots in dummy, that if she wins the ace, Declare 100% has 4 spade tricks.
Right.
Whether South has the second spade or not.
Yeah, so she goes up and then cashes out the club suit where Declare was going to pitch some losers. Kaplan is now in. He has a full count on the hand. I mean, unfortunately, I guess he has to take the ace of hearts, otherwise it goes away. Gross.
No, it doesn't. Oh, I guess it does, right? Because Leclerc could take a club and 2 spades.
No, a club and 3 spades, the Jack 10 fall, and West is following.
West is still following to all of them. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, so if Kaplan returns a club here, I mean, I don't know if Declare would pitch a heart on that trick, but if they do, he'll cash another diamond, see the bad diamond split, and then just start running spades, and all the hearts go away. And Kaplan does take the ace of hearts, so well worked out.
But we have another result. Europe has won yet another point on board 5.
Yikes. This is devastating for the U.S. team. I mean, who's in at the other table? Yeah, it's Bakke and Klukowski against Hurd and Molson. A tough table to compete against over there. Bakke and Klukowski, 2 of the strongest open players. I mean, it's a little bit unfair that Klukowski got chosen as the mixed player for Europe in this event.
Yeah, I think this, I don't know. I hate to second guess the players who are actually in there, but Janice Molson bid, she heard a limit raised by her partner. And with, sure, kind of a maximum weak no trump, but not really extras, just bid 3 no trump. I don't know, it seems a little much, and, it turned out to be.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean,
the colors obviously make it more attractive to bid because you can comfortably pass and pass partners reopening double.
Yeah, definitely tough.
Wow, look at this north hand.
I know, it's a 1 loser hand, and if Kaplan doesn't lead his stiff king of hearts against a heart contract, Declare makes every single trick. So,
We'll declare would anyway, right?
No, they have a spade loser.
Oh, is he where you leave the king of hearts, you lose spade? Yeah. Otherwise, you win something, rough a spade, and now you have no choice but to drop the stiff king of hearts.
Exactly. I mean, I don't think we can blame Kaplan for not finding a trump lead against 7 hearts.
Right.
But yeah, they're not going to get to 7. They'll probably end up in 6 is my guess.
Yeah, I mean, North more or less has 6 made in her hand. She needs, Jack of spades or a doubleton spade, basically, to make a heart slam. So I think she's probably already decided she's bidding at least that high.
Yep, so 2 clubs, 2 diamonds from Precario, just waiting.
Yeah, so, I mean, at this point, if you're North, what is your plan? Here we go.
You're right on cue. North reveals her plan, and that was it.
But you really want to do something that lets partner bid 7 when you can make 7?
It is nice, and certainly in a practice partnership. Yep, absolutely. Sure. I think North is just trying to make a practical bid here.
Not even sure being in a practice partnership helps, right? These kinds of hands are truly once in a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, you can start out with Kokish. It's possible that 7 spades is the making grand. Partner has a stiff heart and 5 spades to the jack, right? Then 7 spades is good, whereas 7 hearts is no good.
But this is the kind of hand where you pick up the North hand and challenge the champs, and you just open 7 spades because that's the top score.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but at the table, I think no matter how good your partnership is, it's still really hard to figure out.
All right, Diamond Rough, Ace of Hearts gets the good news.
I think we're up with the
And
7 just in case. Yep.
yep, there it is, stiff king of hearts. All right, Kaplan, don't lose any sleep over not leading your singleton trump against this contract.
Yeah, this feels like probably a push.
I think so. 1460. I mean, it's possible that South opens 3 diamonds at the other table. So we'll have to keep our eye on that. Or 2 diamonds, even. I don't know if Hurd and Molson are playing 2 diamonds is weak. I bet that's
Yeah.
probably what's on our card.
I think the only effect of that would be that the auction would be shorter because North is still putting 6 hearts at their first turn.
That's fair. Yeah.
Meanwhile, if you're East, are you opening this hand in third seat?
Always.
I think I would. So interesting. Like I actually would never. So I don't want to say never, but I would never do it playing the light opening style where once partner has denied 11 points, why are we opening a hand like this with, short majors, bad spots in the majors? Like, I don't know.
Well, I just want a club lead. That's it.
Yeah, that's fair. But like, yeah, it's true. Like, you're not doing it to protect your side's part score, which doesn't exist.
Right. Yeah, I mean that is kind of the point that, as Craig has mentioned, if West can't have as many as 11 highs, East West don't really have a game, so there's no reason to protect your side's like plus score. It's always the opponent's hand, and to some extent, like I think I've already talked about today, like we don't want to be opening the bidding light and then having the opponents take the contract away from us. Now they know where all the missing high cards are. But in this case, I really do want a club lead against a potential like no trump game or major suit game that the opponents get to. That could be our best way to try and beat the contract.
Yeah, and I think when you and I played that style, one of the surprising wins, at least to me, was when we had like 10 opposite 10. We always knew exactly what cards we had on defense, and the opponents never knew what they had when they were declaring.
Right. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, G2R2 asked about bulletins. I think there are bulletins on the event website. So if you just go to the one linked in the chat command, !Buffett, you should be able to get to the bulletins. I don't think I've looked at the bulletins, so I don't know what information is in there. It might have some hand write-ups. It might have some player profiles. It might just be like a list of the daily event schedule. I have no clue.
So meanwhile, we've gotten to 3-0 by South after, a slightly aggressive just jump to 3-0 by North on this kind of indifferent 8 count. So South has 17, fantastic, but North has kind of a mediocre, hand that I think a lot of players would invite at most.
Yeah.
I think I would invite opposite a no trump overcall because that hand is going to be a little more sound than a no trump opening, but jumping to 3-0 is pretty big.
For sure. Yeah, you make the point that South should have a little bit more than 15 to 17 in terms of their range for the no trump overcall as opposed to the opening bid, which makes the North hand definitely worth an invite. But as you say, 3-0 non-vulnerable is definitely a pretty big gamble. And now Precario is going to need to demonstrate some good technique in the play if he wants to make this. He has, on the surface, the defense is going to set up a heart trick.
Yeah, although that also gives him a third heart trick, which is pretty valuable.
Yeah, so he'll be taking 3 hearts. He's got 2 spades set up. He has 2 clubs. He has a diamond. If he guesses the jack of diamonds, he'll be able to walk out of here with quite a few tricks, in fact.
Yeah, and a 3-3 club split, which obviously we see isn't happening, but that would also give him his game. And I think actually, so this is interesting. So, at Imps, of course, you would just play to go plus. At Board and Match, sometimes you want to think about over tricks, but here he's got to know that it's unlikely his counterparts are in game, right? It's 25 highs. North took this pretty aggressive view. Like, if North invites, he would accept. I'm not sure every North would invite, even on this auction, opposite a no Trump overcall. So I think South is just, if he gets to nine, he is thrilled to death. He is not caring about the board match implications of a 10th trick.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's always relevant to kind of consider what's going on in the other room. And as you say, you just kind of have to like wager what the odds are of the other table ending up in a specific contract. So if you think that the other table might play a no trump on our cards, well, now just going plus and 3-0 rates to be pretty good. But if the other table is getting to 3-0, then we do want to be fighting for these over tricks.
Yeah, like board and match is weird because there's only the one comparison. Even in a very tough match point event, like even a platinum pairs or all open pairs, if I got to 3-0 trump on the north south cards, I would think that my going plus was at least a 70% board, often quite a bit more.
Yeah, reasonable. Well, the club lead does come, but it's a little bit late for East West to set up club tricks.
Take a look at board 7.
Oh no, what happened? Oh no.
I think they did open 3 diamonds, as you posited might happen.
I see. Uh-oh.
Yeah, North bid 3 fewer hearts than I thought she might.
Yep. Well, that I mean, look, Klukowski also didn't find the Singleton King of Hearts lead on that auction, so moral victory. Yikes. Well, the US does pick up a result on board 6. They take an extra trick and 3 diamonds in the other room. The trump opening lead, a heart went to the king, a spade up, and Bakke ends up ducking the spade. Was it the same auction? It was the exact same auction. So we had kind of posited, or at least made the idea about the defense rather straightforward. We kind of put this idea out there that, well, Declare is marked with at least 5-5 in the red suit. So if they have a singleton spade, we want to take the ace. If Declare has a doubleton spade, then it doesn't really help us to duck. So we may as well just cash the ace and cash our ace of clubs and be done with it. But Bakke had another idea. He ducked the spade, and that was very costly, giving up the extra trick immediately. Precario still hasn't played on this 10 of clubs switch. I mean, I'm sure he knows the club layout, but the problem is he just doesn't have a ton of entries to the north hand. So, like, if he wins the king of clubs and leads a club towards the ace-9, he's still just split. And then there's, like, yes, he'll get back here on this lie of the cards by playing a diamond to the 10, but he doesn't know that. And he doesn't want to overtake the jack of spades.
I think the main thing he's thinking about right now is the jack of diamonds, not the club play.
Yeah, so he wins the ace of clubs, preserving that king of clubs and dummy. And now he cashes a heart, throwing a spade. He can cash another heart, but he'll definitely want to cash a heart pitching a club, and that unnecessarily exposes the king of clubs to being forced off dummy.
Well, yeah, so if he cashes the last heart, I mean, I wonder if one thing he's thinking about is there any way to throw East in a way that East has to break the queen jack of clubs and we can win the king and return to our hand? Probably not.
Well, sure. I mean, if we run a diamond into East's hand, East can lead the queen of clubs. But the problem is if if we
No,
run the
but
diamond to
he still has
east.
extra cards though.
Yeah. But I mean, also, if we run the diamond to east, the defense just has 5 tricks. So he's, like you said, he really is just trying to guess the jack of diamonds right now. He cashes the jack of spades, doesn't get any new information on this trick.
Yeah, so we don't really know much about the East-West hands. West didn't lead a diamond initially, which doesn't really mean anything. Would never break a diamond looking at the Queen 10 fourth. So I think Declare still has a pretty blind guess at this point.
He does, and West can continue the good work on defense by pitching a spade here. Great discard from Sanborn.
Yeah.
Not giving away any information about what is very obviously the important suit on defense. So
yeah, I mean, there's obviously a little bit of, if West is like clinging to her diamonds, maybe that means she's more likely to have the jack. This might come down to a little bit of how good does South think West is as a player.
So it looks like he is running the 9 of diamonds. Now Kaplan really needs to duck this trick, and he was all over it. He knew exactly what was going on. If he had won the diamond ace, Declare would have had communication in the diamond suit to take another diamond finesse. But now, if Declare, for example, runs the 8 of diamonds, Kaplan will win. The diamond suit is blocked, and then Kaplan will just play back a club to cut communication between Declare. Yeah, which is exactly what happens. So
I'm not sure, though, why wouldn't Declare play the king of diamonds there? Because if they were 3-3, that would unblock the suit.
It's true, but he can pitch the king of diamonds on the king of spades here. Actually,
yeah.
I kind of expected him to do that, but he also might just have a full count on the hand.
Right.
Yeah, 3-no trump making 3. I think ultimately all around good plays by both Declare and the defenders. Could go either way on that board. I mean, as you say, it's not so obvious North-South will get to 3-no at the other table, and then it's going to be all about how greedy Declare wants to be by touching diamonds earlier, because Declare could have preserved better communication between the North-South hands and played on diamonds a number of tricks prior to try and make an over trick. We'll see what happens, but back to board 9, because we have an exciting auction heating up. 2 passes go to South with the 6-card heart suit, preempts 3 hearts, favorable. West, 15,
Very
unfavorable, comes in 3-no.
I think I'm a passer, but obviously the only rough choices are passer, 3-no trump. It's really tough.
Yeah, very tricky problem. I mean, I think Sanborn, along with, a lot of the other players in some of these events, doesn't play a lot of match points or board a match. So a lot of their thinking is just kind of drawn towards imp decisions. And at imps, I think it really just is 3-no trump, even though partner's a passed hand. But at board a match, that decision is a lot tougher. So
if North leads a spade, they're going to take, I guess, 3 spades and a diamond, but that's it, right? So can they do any better? Probably not, right?
Well, I mean, they haven't... Declare hasn't made 9 tricks yet, I guess. But yeah, I suppose with the diamonds splitting, there's just no problem.
Yeah, like five diamonds, 3 clubs, and a heart.
Yeah. But with North leading partner's heart suit, now Declare has the opportunity to take quite a few more tricks. So The queen of diamonds will run around to south, and I think Precario just wins the king. Like, if dummy looked like it possibly was barren of entries, then it could make a lot of sense for south to just duck this trick smoothly. But yeah, here Precario does just win the king immediately.
I mean, that duck is a lot more attractive if dummy had the 10 of diamonds.
Yeah.
Here, like if you duck it, probably declare. Maybe declare would even pick it off, but it's. I think you're, asking for trouble if you duck it, looking at that diamond holding in dummy. Like there's too many holdings where declare knows that the king of diamonds can't be outside.
Well, knows is a strong term, but
yeah, sure.
But yeah, I mean, that's always the scare when you duck with King Doubleton in spots like this, is your heart's beating like 100 extra beats a minute, waiting for Declare to take another finesse into you so that you can like shout out, "Ha, got him," and then just strand the entire diamond suit in dummy. But here with the King of Spades is just a known entry to the diamonds. There was no way Precario was ducking.
Right, but also, like, from Declare's point of view, could your partner have King 10 third of diamonds? Here, the answer is almost certainly no.
It's certainly a...
It's possible, like, sure. Like the geniuses could. In real life, every North is covering with King 10 third. And by the way, declare beard.
Yeah, it's probably true. Oh, Declare did beer. Very nice. Yeah, the diamonds run at the end, and so plus 630.
No, it is true. Like, double dummy with everyone playing perfectly, sure. And in real life, everyone's playing the king on the queen there with King 10 third.
That's true. I mean, like, King 10 fourth would often not cover the queen with the king.
King 10 fourth would not cover, yes.
So, in that case, if you go queen of diamonds and it holds and you play a diamond to the ace and south shows out, now you just have two diamond losers.
Right, but then it's really embarrassing to duck the king as south. Like, when it goes queen, low, low, if you're south with King Doubleton, you can't duck that when it's stiff queen. You just cost your side a diamond trick.
Right. But I mean, like, I think that's the main point, is that, like, the 3-heart preemptor is a lot more likely to have a stiff diamond, and so North will duck from King 10 fourth, and so I think when the queen holds, Declare just plays a diamond to the jack, even without the 10 here. I do believe you're right that with King 10 third, basically every North is just going to reflexively cover.
Yeah.
Well, board 10 here, we got another one of these overcalls of one no trump. This time North has a 16 count.
I mean, I think this is one where if the diamond suit were switched with any of the other three, North would give a takeout double real consideration. Like, this is a terrifying one no overcall.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it might even just be a pass with 4 triple 3 and partner being a passed hand.
You have 16. Like
16.
I'm actually tempted to pass also. I think it's too much, but I think North knows how terrible this is.
Yeah, but what's not terrible for North is this opening club lead, which is going to give them 2 club tricks.
Yeah. I mean, there was a little bit of the Rosenberg rule. You just can't pass throughout with the best hand. And with a hand like this, if you don't bid one no now, you probably never get a better chance.
Now, I mean, it's not so obvious with like a flat 16, 4 triple 3 and a bunch of jacks and no spots that you have the best hand. But
you
sure.
Probably do. West opened in third, an aggressive West opened in third seat, an aggressive East and South pass. Like, probably you have the best hand. Actually, I guess the more aggressive East and South are, the more likely it is the West hand is better than yours.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking on this.
But but yeah, like if you're sitting there north, like you start three.
Hey, when
Yeah,
there's three, there's four. And
I mean, this is something I think you and I think both hate overcalling one no Trump, and I think a lot of experts feel the same way. People just don't realize how terrible it is overcalling one no Trump.
yeah, there's a lot of players who are just like, I had my no Trump opener, therefore that
Yeah.
the opponents are not going to stop me from showing my no Trump hand.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden 800 later they're like, where did it all go wrong?
Yeah, yeah. Like one no overcalls are, like sure you do it when you have the right hand, but you just know there's some large class of hands where it works out horribly. Like
Yeah,
to some extent, the better your hand is, the worse it can be because the more you're just playing out of your hand at every trick.
right. Yeah, that's obviously the big problem with these hands. Like I always advocate for, you really need to have full values like 17 or 18, or you need to
Or
have
trick sorts.
like, yeah, tricks like of some kind, like queen jack 10 9 fifth is great. Like queen jack fifth is not so good because, as you say, you're playing out of your hand and now you just have three losers in the suit opposite of Doubleton.
Yeah, I think the hand we saw earlier where Precario doubled on 4351 was extreme. And I think, only an Italian would make that double, but I get the urge to look for any alternative to a 1-0 overcall on a hand like that with a lot of tennises, because your tennises are worthless if you can't get to your partner's hand to take finesses.
Yep. Yeah, exactly true. Okay, Kaplan has got in with the second round of spades, and Declare did
Yeah,
her
meanwhile,
best
this
to
is
try
from
and
three for
duck, but
Declare.
Kaplan has now set up the club suit, so Declare just has to cash out.
Yeah, but she's gotten a plus, which is about as much as you could have hoped for when she made that overcall.
For sure. Going plus on the north-south cards does rate to be a decent result, but it's also commendable to East-West, who didn't exactly find the right opening lead and didn't exactly find the right follow-up defense, but still managed to hold Declare to 7 tricks. An eighth would have been available if Declare had a little bit more time to play a second heart.
I mean, sort of, but the defense does have 3 spades, 2 hearts, and a club. That is 6. But, nonetheless, probably a push, but I think you'd rather have the north-south result than east-west. I think east-west maybe could have made a club partial.
Well, we'll wait and see, because the other table is a couple boards behind us. South picks up a 9 count this time. Probably a couple passes around to north. Gets to open a club in third seat. And is Kaplan
Yes.
going to overcall heart?
I mean, I would, I think that's probably not a majority preference.
I guess
I
we'll
don't
find
know.
out.
Well, here's a question. Do you like one heart better opposite a pass partner or a non-pass partner?
Probably it's better opposite a passed hand.
I think so too, but your upside is greater opposite an unpassed hand.
I think the danger
you're
opposite
listening-
the unpassed hand is that we just get forced
buried,
into
yeah.
some contract we don't want to play.
Yeah, right. You're not going to get buried opposite a pass partner, but your upside of getting to a game that you wouldn't otherwise get to is also probably not going to happen.
Right. Okay.
But insta one heart, love it.
Yeah, the immediate one heart, a no trump all pass, And East on lead, I mean, it's just automatic to lead a club. So,
Yeah, by the way, though, you're kind of skipping over this auction. So South one spade probably showed five. North, opposite of passed hand, could have passed one spade, could have raised. North South, I think on a lot of auctions would not miss the right card spade fit.
no, that's true. And um, this looks like it's going to do very well for North South because on this club lead, with the King Doubleton of Spades coming down, Declare is just,
Yeah, they're gonna take 10 tricks. Is that right?
I mean, at least. Um,
On five spades, three clubs, and two diamonds. I think there's no 11th. I don't think.
no, Declare would have to break the diamond suit to cross back and run the spades because the spades will block after the King of Spades falls. Yeah, spade to the king. This would be a much better play if Kaplan had King 10 Doubleton in the spade suit. Then he might have
Right.
scored a spade trick. But
Yeah, if Declare had the nine of spades, something great might have happened.
yeah, but spade goes back to the queen. So now Declare doesn't have to play a diamond to the ace, though. And this means Declare can just run the spade suit without breaking the diamond position.
It is true, but
Okay.
East West keep enough round cards that Declare won't be able to exit safely to get to the defense to break the diamonds. Yeah, but 180 is a huge result, right? Because in spades, the absolute maximum is 170.
Right? Yeah, I mean, especially on a heart lead, if East does overcall heart in the other room. Well, on to board 12, last board in play at this table, and then the other room is still a bit behind. West, East,
bit.
and South all have their own suits. Three spades from Sanborn. Whew.
Yeah, so when I said earlier that Sanborn is aggressive, this I think is one of the ways in which she's really aggressive. Like when she used to play with Kate McCallum at these women's events, their preamps were like McCallum even more so, but their preamps were just completely off the wall. So I think this is pretty in character for her. Like, yeah, one spade I think would be a majority choice, 10 points or not, but this is a player who really likes to preempt.
Well, is it going to work out this time? Hearts split,
what
and
an
Declare
annoying
is just
problem for
making
Mario.
5 hearts here, losing a club and a spade.
So I think Precario had an automatic five heart bid, but that is completely terrifying, red white.
For sure.
Like,
Yeah.
Kaplan can have a 19 count.
Right. Yep. Or apparently West could just have a bunch of defense and 10 high card points.
Yeah, like imagine West has an opening bid like she did. Kaplan has, every other high card in the deck that you're not looking at. They just miss a grand, five hearts, great. So, I mean, I think Precario's bid is, if not automatic, then percentage, but I'm sure he was pretty nervous about the whole thing. Meanwhile, they're going to lose, obviously, a spade and a club, and that's kind of it, right? With the hearts splitting, they can draw trumps, rough a spade, and lose a club, and that's it.
Right. Yeah.
So, well done to North South. How are East West going to do? They're going to lose a club and two hearts and a spade, so they did have a good save.
I'm just looking at this hand. Is there any way that Declare takes a first round heart finesse? I don't think so. No.
No. So I think par is, I guess, five spades. I'm wondering if five spades and clubs are the same. Can they get an extra trick against spades on defense? Probably not. Oh, yeah, they can because they got the rough. So I think five spades and six clubs are both or six diamonds rather, are the same, right?
It does seem that way, yeah.
Like in spades, east west, south gets a rough because he has a diamond void. So diamonds plays a trick better, but you also have to do a trick higher.
Yeah, sadly, that is how the game has been set up for years. Diamonds don't get any respect.
But nonetheless, though, either is going to be, I think, 500.
Club, a spade, and two hearts. Yeah, sounds like 500. Club to the ace, declare elects to take a safety play in the club suit. Makes some sense, especially because he knows that West is shapely for the three spade bid on only six of them.
Yeah, I think he knows something weird is happening, right? Because the opponents open three spades, raise to four spades with only eight of them. So I think he knows the queen of clubs is with East because if East is raising on a doubleton, he must have a lot of the high cards.
Yeah, yeah. Well, heading over to the other room, they still got four boards to play. USA actually does pick up a point on board 8. They did make 10 tricks and 3 no trump after East opened a club as well at this table. West led the 10 of clubs, and that allowed Declare the time to go up with the club king. They led a diamond to the king. They then went about knocking out the spade ace, which Klukowski ducked a couple of times. Interesting. A diamond came back. Abake blocked the diamond suit by popping up with the jack. Then the jack of clubs. But then Klukowski just got out with a club. Huh. Wow, what a fascinating hand overall. The play in 3 no trump on board 8, but it does seem that Hurd managed to overcome some difficulties and get out with 10 tricks for a win. But that comes all the way back here with Hurd and Molson allowing 3 no trump to take 11 tricks here. Oh, Craig's gone. I just realized. He's totally gone. We lost him. I don't know where he went. Did he say goodbye? I must have missed it. If he did. My bad. Bye, Craig. Thanks for joining. Or maybe his power cut out or something, who knows? But this was good. We'll stick around for the remainder of the set, but man, I am getting tired again. So they're going to have 2 more rounds today. Of course, they will be broadcast on BBO. Looks like you don't have any text commentators either. Maybe they're at the other table. Oh no, they weren't at the other table. Sorry, you can't see, but behind the black screen here, I don't have any chat messages from the commentators. Should be on to board 10 momentarily. Oh, hey, Craig, welcome back. Your housewife. Okay, great, perfect. Well, I'll wrap up the day. So thank you for joining me. And you're more than welcome to come back again tomorrow for the final 2 rounds if you would like to. Otherwise, I will finish out the event on my own. Pass by East and by South. 1 club by Bake. I guess we'll see. Is North going to overcall a no trump? Make a takeout double? Pass? We'll find out. North comes in with 1 no. I assume I'll pass. This is definitely going to make a club lead a lot more attractive from East side now that he knows his partner has at least 2 of them. So 6 of clubs, maybe the jack. Nah, he leads with 6. Jack would be helpful if South had Honor Doubleton. Okay, club to the ace. Is West going to find a spade switch? First question. Because pretty quickly in the other room, Sanborn elected to play back a club. And yeah, Baque, I think, reads a little bit more deeply into the situation and switches to the spade king. And gets an encouraging signal from his partner, continues spade. So this is going to make the defense very simple and straightforward. Whereas in the other room, they had to be a little bit careful about how they set up tricks. The club return, I don't think West can reasonably come up with a hand where a club return will actually set up partner's club suit. Because with South having 6, his hand was 12, and North having a strong no trump, East can have 1 entry, but can't really have 2. Like, could East have the king of clubs and ace of hearts? This would give North kind of like a bare minimum 15 with no club stopper. Probably not a no trump overcall. That feels like a takeout double. So I don't think it's very likely that you can play a club back and realistically expect East to be able to get in and set up the club suit and then also cash the clubs, which makes it a little bit more profitable to go after your own suit, and that's what Baque did. He found the spade switch. Declare knocks out the heart ace, and that is going to be a push. You're up ahead by 7-3 on the score line going into the last 2 boards. But yeah, this is a hand where we could definitely see a swing going the way of the Europeans. I mean, if East never takes a call, like pass, a club, a spade, a no trump, all pass, East leads a club, we'll get the same result. There's no way that Hurd actually opened a club. Okay, so we are missing 2 passes, but it did start a club a heart. And Hurd will bid a spade showing 5. We'll hopefully get the VuGraph auction fixed, but just imagine that the bids have been flipped. So 2 spades. The other table rebid a no trump on the North cards here. Fascinating choice. Everyone's bidding their partner's hands. This is like a pass left tournament. Yeah, we're getting the undos now. So pass, a club, a heart, a spade. And North has, I mean, I wouldn't even call it a choice. I think for everyone, 2 spades does feel like the most natural bid. But wow. I mean, 4 rounds of hearts is actually going to be a bit devastating to declare. They'll probably have to pitch a diamond from the south hand. So the defense is just going to take the first 4 tricks. Feels like a pretty good lead director. We need the next hand person. You're calling for them, PJF. Just signal to get them over here as quickly as possible. Klukowski plays the 3rd heart, and Baque was like all set to overruff Declare, but realizes now Declare's following. So ace of hearts. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we just pitch a diamond on this trick. You kind of have to. If you rough and get overruffed, well, you still have a diamond loser. unless the queen of clubs is on side, which could be. But you're not even convinced that getting overruffed is going to hold your spade losers to 0 at that point. Like, West could be overruffing from 10 doubleton. And then what? Are you going to use your club entries to lead the queen and then hook east for king 9 third? Not sure. So I think our best practical chance is to just pitch a diamond, crossing clubs, spade to the jack, ace of spades, and see what happens in the suit. We'll see what Hurd decides, though. I mean, he's certainly not happy that East has overcalled this 4-card suit, got the lead director, and now he's in this position, but he just has to kind of trust that his teammates are going to do the same thing at the other table, which they did, but it wasn't enough because North-South miscounted their spade fit and ended up playing no trump instead. This is why this table was so slow, huh? Hurd has been taking his damn time. There's the diamond pitch. West finally throws a club, but Declare will be taking the rest from here. Diamond around to the king, spade to the jack, ace of spades. And we move on. One board to go. Why did we win the ace of diamonds? So that we can lead a club up? Okay, there we go. King of Spades falls, plus 140, but still a board going the way of Europe. 8-3. They're up by 5 so far. And the last hand, is West also going to open 3 spades? No chance. No chance whatsoever that West opens 3 spades. Now, will West open 1 spade? That's an interesting question. If they play 2 ranges of multi, which they might, maybe West gets to open 2 spades. Okay, it sounds like that's what's going on. So this is probably like 8-11. And or it could be like 5 spades and a 4-card minor. Doc, you think this might be a good result for Europe in the other room, getting to 5 hearts? 2 spades past 3 spades from Klukowski, so 4 hearts from South. This one feels like a bit of a push. I mean, they did well at the other table to get to 5 hearts after the auction started so preemptively, but without that much preemption from East-West, just getting to 4 hearts is pretty comfortable as they do here, and then there's essentially nothing to the play. You just duck the opening spade lead, win the return, ace, king of hearts, ruff a spade, test the club suit, as Declare did in the other room. I mean, it's possible that East-West could have found a save. I think that would have been the realistic way to make sure that they won the board. But it's still tough. East is never showing diamonds. East-West have found this kind of mediocre 8-card spade fit, but that was only because they were favorable. Otherwise, Klukowski probably wouldn't have raised his partner's 2-spade preempt. Good move by Hurd to duck the opening spade lead. If he doesn't, and trumps happen to be 3-1, he might lose out on the ability to rough a spade. So this was necessary. No spade roughs coming anyway with the 2-spade preempt from West. Kind of interesting. The 6 of spades comes back. There's no way to declare overtook the jack with the ace, but heart to the ace, king of hearts. And now what? I mean, there's a lot of missing diamonds, so whatever Hurd does, he's probably not certain that about the shapes of the hand. Like, could West have 3 clubs realistically? West turned up with 2 hearts, 6 spades, 3 clubs, and 2 diamonds. That would give East 8 of them. Probably not. But what if West doubleton diamond were like ace jack doubleton or something? East does king queen 8th, but also East wants to preempt, and so no, probably not. Either way, Hurd does decide to play for that. King of clubs cashes. He could have taken the safety play by playing a low club to the ace to guarantee 11 tricks, but that's a push, and Europe strikes back in the second round. Let me go ahead and pull up the standings before we sign off for today. Europe now on top. Everyone is dominating against China currently so far. Europe winning 7-3 there, and USA with a small victory as well over the Chinese team. But that means Europe, with their 8-3 victory over the US, has retaken the lead in the second round, 27-25-16. Still a couple boards to play.